And Osborn, Corey Neyland, and myself, the old guy, we are the voices of Fullerton College football. And here we are today at Fullerton Union High School District Stadium. Guys, basically, it was a cakewalk at the Santa Ana Bowl, but Corey Neyland, tonight should be a challenge against Cerritos College. Last year's game, Cerritos was ahead at halftime. The Hornets had to come back. I think today it's going to be one of those games, last-minute play to win this football game today.
Yeah, you kind of like excitement, don't you, Mr. Pavlovich? No, I think it's going to be a very good game. Cerritos has maybe more talented and athletic than they have been in the last few years, and it should be an interesting ball game today. To kick off for Cerritos will be Abraham Delgadillo.
Back deep for the Hornets is Stewart.
And Michael Love on the far side.
Stewart steps back. He's going to take it about 2 yards deep. Looks for the middle, stays on his feet, gets hit hard at the 20, and he's down there.
Great form tackle. That time by Jonathan Fuamatu.
Josh Calvin started last week's game, and Calvin looked great. Corey, you look at him, he attempted 15 passes, completed 11 of them for 208 yards, had a couple touchdowns, no interceptions. His longest one was for 39 yards. We'll see if he comes out, which he does. Josh Calvin comes out at quarterback quickly. On the far side of the field is going to be Austin Levias as a wide receiver. The near side of the field, well, Michael Love, who had a big game last week against Santa Ana also. Calvin in the backfield, shotgun formation. First down and 10 at the 20. Straight dive play in the middle. And once again, the running back who looked big, Tyrell Green Jr., who had an excellent game where he had 111 yards against Santa Ana. Breaks the first one for 10 yards. You like this kid.
Oh, yeah, and he's running behind a strong offensive line on that left side. That was Sebastian Medina, the left tackle. And the left guard, Daniel Medelis, opening up that hole to pick up that first down. And it looks like the injured player down on the field is Cameron Woods. Let's hope the young man is okay. Had a good game last week against Santa Ana. We'll finish out that offensive line for the Hornets. The center is William Peroni. The right guard will be Sammy Garcia. And the right tackle will be Sherrod Green. That is your Hornet beefy guys up front.
You know, when you look at what the Hornets did last week, you know, you hope it wasn't a mirage, Corey, because let's be realistic. The standard of competition was a little lower last week with Santa Ana. Cerritos' defense, we'll see how tough they are. They look like basically, what are they running, a 3-4 out there, Corey, for defense, or are they going with a 4-3? Looks like a 4-3, doesn't it? So Calvin comes out, looks, takes it down himself, looks for a block on the outside. Goes far to the right side and gets a gain on that. Tried to get a block out there from McNeil. McNeil was looking for somebody to block, but a gain of 8 on the play. Young quarterback that can run. Quickly come out. McNeil comes out to the near side of the field now. Second down and 3. Calvin goes back, looks across the middle of the field. 2 people in the same spot, and that was Aiden Koenig coming across the middle. And right in front of him, I think one of the better receivers was Will Gibson, who looked the ball was going to.
Yeah, and it was going to Will Gibson. Again, Koenig, not aware of his placement on the field, reached out and was going to come back anyway, even had it been completed, because there was a penalty on Fullerton.
So they're going to mark that off against the Hornets. It was second down and 3 right at the 38. Just started this game with 14:01 to go. Wholesale defensive changes for Cerritos. So they're going to mark it off, move it all the way back to the 28. It's going to bring up a second down and 13.
Well, Mark, I was going to give the starting defensive lineup.
Tyrell Green Jr. still in the backfield. Josh Calvin at quarterback. Tyrell Green Jr. takes it. Green gets a gain maybe of a half a yard on that carry.
Okay, brought down by Taniela. Mate Ilona is made the stop for Cerritos.
So they have to allow the defense, but the offense did not substitute. So the defense, even though they're running on the field, the offense should have been able to go. Jordan Smith in the slot to the near side. Outside him, C.J. Broy. Jordan Smith was the big receiver for the Hornets last week. Hornet coach is not happy about the official stopping it. They hand it off to Green again. Doesn't get anything. He gets maybe to the 31. That's going to bring up a 4th down with 12:56 to go here in the first quarter.
Good defensive stand by Cerritos. And again, that quickness that Fullerton worked with, Cerritos gets bailed out by substituting about 10 players at a time. Fullerton runs it up the middle with a safe call.
Davis back deep for Cerritos. So 4th down and 10 at the 30. The Hornets couldn't get moving. The wholesale changes. Ball hits the ground. Davis is going to chase it down. It's going to hit the turf right at the 38. Kicks out of bounds. And that's where it's going to be. So with 12:16 to go, well, Cerritos will take over offensively after that punt as the Hornets stalled on their first offensive drive here on sports@usa.net.
32 yards on the kick.
So Jordan Simpson comes in at quarterback. Davon Booth at running back for Cerritos. Simpson comes out, looks to go across the middle of the field, easily drops it to Tyrone Bates. Bates was the big receiver last week for Cerritos. So Bates will be the one that you will watch Jordan Simpson find every time out there. That's enough for a 1st down. They move across midfield. Noah Sanchez goes to the far side of the field. Near side of the field is going to be Bates. They're going to drop it straight up the middle. Booth has got it, stays on his feet, goes off tackle, gets all the way down to the 42-yard line. Looks like a gain of 7 on the play.
Breaks the tackle. The arm tackle moves through of Amari Williams and picks up about 8 yards. Good job by Booth of creating leverage and picking up positive yardage. Jeremiah McNeely makes the stop for the Hornets. Up front for Cerritos, Tavita Talisela, Jonathan Manzo, Edwin Fonua, Adrian Manzo, and Joseph Perez up front for the Falcons.
Noah Sanchez to the far side of the field. Here comes the throw. Throw it easily out into the flat. Taken out there by Doss. Doss is going to get knocked out of bounds right at the 31-yard line.
That tackle made by Christian Cross. You saw the first completion over the middle for Cerritos. Simpson waited for Christian Cross to jump the up route, and they go over the middle. This time, Christian Cross stays back, and they come out to the swing unit, and Cross comes up and makes the stop.
So Simpson looks over the defense. Hands it straight there. Taken by Liago.
It sets up as a design run, guys. Sets up as it looks like it's coming to the outside, but really, it's really a clear out space in the middle. Little counter tray for the Falcons. Bryce Dunnick in the middle for the Hornets, wearing big number 95 there. Ant Harris, number 92 in blue. Amari Williams on the near side, and the far side edge rusher will be Eric Hill.
So Simpson in at quarterback, Booth the running back. Tight formation by the receivers. 2nd down and 3. Simpson goes back, looks for something straight. By himself, overshoots the receiver. He had Doss in the clear and just couldn't connect with him.
Yeah, just a mix-up on the outside. Chandler Brown a little bit late connecting with Doss on the corner route. And on the outside, Maximus Ahoya a little late on the outside on the up route. Poor throw by Simpson. Otherwise, that would have been a 6.
3rd down and 3, just inside the 25. Sanchez to the left. Doss comes to the right, stacked over there with Bates on top of him. Bates goes in motion. They hand it off to him on a jet sweep. Bates can't get to the outside, gets taken down at the 31.
Great job by Eric Hill to stretch that play out to the 31 and the 31 and the 31. Allow Jeremiah McNeely to come up and finish him off. Great play by the Hornet D.
So it's going to be a loss of about 5 on it. It's going to bring a 4th down. We get a timeout on the field.
That's not good. They're starting safety Chandler Brown, who came into the season thinking he was going to be a first-team all-conference, possible All-American selection. He's down on the ground last week. He had one tackle last week, but again, against Santa Ana, which they won 56-7, Ryan, it was a beautiful thing for the Hornets to stop and start last week.
One of the things that I talked to Coach Phil Austin about when he ended up joining us on the Coaches Show was about Chandler Brown's leadership qualities. And he said he's going to lean on him heavily throughout the entire season because since he is a guy who got a lot of playing time last year, a lot of meaningful playing time, he's going to look to Brown to be able to convey that importance and also the scheme and technical aspects as well to the guys who may have just been entering from high school.
Well, it looks like Cerritos will forego a field goal, guys. If you look at it, they would probably spot it at the 36. It would be a 56-yard attempt. Overcast, muggy, the air is heavy, so they will go for it on 4th down.
Empty.
Simpson, empty backfield, looks over at things. Big receiver Bates here on the near side of the field. Goes back, across the middle of the field, and drops it right in. There's going to be short of a 1st down, and it looked like he had the opportunity to do that and comes up just a little short. Dylan Laurer?
Sure. Salen Streeter makes the stop. Salen Streeter last week had a 42-yard pick 6.
So the Hornets get it on a turnover. So both these teams sort of stagger at the beginning. Josh Calvin brings out the team. Malik Winston comes in at running back. Near side of the field is Broy. In the slot inside of him is Jordan Smith. Josh Calvin goes over, throws it one more time, can't get it to Koenig, and Koenig once again gets turned around on the play. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 10.
Alama Collins, Isaac Taulili, and Mac Manu up front for the Falcons. Those are the rushers. Jaden Dunlap, Giovanni De Leon, 2 of the secondary unit.
Hand it off straight up the middle. Nice little pickup there by Malik Winston.
And brought down by the aforementioned Giovanni De Leon, who's actually a linebacker. Chandler Nixon, the free safety, Chase Nixon. Also in the secondary, Arna Bontemps II, Jonathan Fuamatu, Zaire Thornton round out the defensive unit for Cerritos.
3rd down and 10. The Hornets not feeling it right now. Throw it over here. Koenig gets it, stays on his feet. He's going to come up short, or did he make it? They've got him moving the chains. 1st down for the Hornets.
Far side had him making it. I thought the near side official had him short.
That's what I thought also. Because, Corey, look where they put it. That's actually marked short of where it was. Quick 1st down. Throwing it out of bounds on a quick play, C.J. Broy. And so if you looked where it got spotted, guys, where the original mark was a 1st down, that was not a 1st down. 2nd down and 10 at the 33. Josh Calvin in at quarterback. Malik Winston, the running back. C.J. Broy to the near side. Koenig in the slot.
No, it's definitely not reverse. Yeah. No, the counter and then also the.
They throw it out here to Malik Winston, who gets swallowed up, spins away, and can go no place. Ball comes out. They're going to call him down. So Cerritos thought they had gotten the turnover. The official said he was down. It's a 3rd down and 10. And so now Malik Winston comes out of the game. Corey, Jordan Smith has not had the ball thrown to him yet in this game.
Last week they were aggressive on the offensive side of the ball against Santa Ana. A little bit more conservative here against Cerritos, and Fullerton just hasn't found their stride in their second possession.
Garnett Davis III now in a running back. Here comes the pressure. Quarterback takes it. Josh Calvin slides. He slides short of a 1st down. So they're going to mark him. One official's got him at the 40. One official's got him at the 41.
Doesn't matter. It's going to be 4th down and 2.
So they're going to punt it away again. So Davis comes in again. Davis back deep. He's going to stand at the 20 for Cerritos. Steps up, comes up to about the 23. Now he sneaks up a little more. No real pressure. High floater. Davis signals for a fair catch. He takes it there. Right at the 29. So with 6:43 to go here in the first quarter, well, it's been all nobody, because nobody's doing anything on offense here on Sportsnet USA.net. Ryan, Corey, the old guy, sitting here on Sportsnet USA.net. Simpson brings out the team at quarterback. Poco in the backfield. They hand it off to Poco, takes it himself. That's what he said you could call him, so we call him that. Gets a gain of 1. Puka. So I've got John Van Gassen that corrects me. Thank you, John. The SID for Cerritos. That's why we always like to have John sitting next to me. He helps me down the stairs at the end of the game, too. So that's the upside. Puka in the backfield. With Simpson. They hand it to him again. Puka looking for an opening. He finds it at the 30. Gets a gain of 3. Where they're going to mark him at, because he was at the 29, was the original line of scrimmage. They take it out to 32. That's a gain of 3 on the play with 5:55 to go here in the first quarter.
Nice job by Algo. And again, Bryce Dunnick moves well on the interior, makes that tackle 3 yards down the field.
Simpson brings him out. Sanchez to the near side of the field. Simpson's got time, goes back, almost picked, and Corey, it was jumped as they were trying to get it to Tyrone Bates, and they were there for the pick.
Max Ahoya broke on that perfectly and almost comes up with his first pick of the season.
So back deep for the Hornets is going to be Jordan Smith standing inside the 30. Neither team has gotten a rhythm going offensively. Maybe it's just better defense. Jordan Smith goes over. He takes it at the 24. Looks to outrun everybody. Drops back, turns the corner. A couple people in front of him. Stays on his feet across the 40 to the 42. Good field position with 5:09 and the lights turning on here at Fullerton District Stadium on Sportsnet USA.net. Well, Corey, there's no rhythm offensively for each team right now.
That's correct.
Thank you. I don't know. Ryan Osborn might want to disagree with you when I look at that. Ryan, is it defense or is it offense that I'm seeing?
No, it's the offense from both sides. Neither of them have been able to get that consistent rhythm that we're used to, especially when you look at how Fullerton started the Santa Ana game. First two series, they looked electric. On time, the chemistry was there between Calvin and the wide receivers. This one, you've seen a couple of balls that have been behind receivers, two guys running into each other, and one that was over top. So when you look at the chemistry, that it goes hand in hand with the rhythm.
And you both were out there at practice this week. Could it be anything that, how was that sense of practice this week?
You know, it was an interesting practice week because they had to deal with the elements, with how warm it was, in addition to having to deal with the lighting changes as well. When you look at this squad for Fullerton College, it's interesting because the feeling was not necessarily that same anticipation for a game as the key to the county, but what you heard was anticipation for violence against Cerritos, because that is the word that a lot of teams around Southern California have used to describe Fullerton Cerritos.
This series, Fullerton leads this series 25 wins to 17 wins for Cerritos. And a couple ties mixed in there.
So we have the ball moved across the midfield. And we're going to mark it at the 39-yard line.
Did you see the call?
I did not.
Neither did I. I didn't even see a flag tossed.
So the Hornets are going to be 1st and 10 at the 39. Nunez now in at quarterback. Brandon Nunez, the quarterback now for the Hornets. Nunez goes back, has time, looks for somebody, throws it off the hands of a wide open receiver, and that should have been taken there by Michael Love. Michael Love should have caught that, Corey Neyland.
Yeah, and a good job by Nunez to extend the play with his feet just a little bit to allow Love to get open and allow him to get out the pocket and make a decent throw. It touched his hand, so he probably should have caught it.
So Michael Love to the far side of the field. To the near side of the field is going to be Austin Levias. Nunez now starts in motion. That's Stewart. Hands it straight up the middle. Over to the 35. A gain of 4 on the play. Nice little run. Getting something going is Garnett Davis III.
And again, Love probably should have caught that last ball, the last play. It did hit his fingertips, but it was just a little bit out of his reach as well. But again, Fullerton trying to open up the offense with mobile quarterbacks on the outside. That can be how you get in the flow of your offensive game.
C.J. Broy and Smith on the far side of the field. Gibson on the near side of the field. Nunez goes back. Throws it out to Garnett, coming out of the backfield, overshoots Garnett Davis III. He had him open.
And the Falcon 3-3-5 defense with 5 defensive backs is disrupting Fullerton's throwing game.
So 4th down, 6 yards with 4:21 to go. No, this is not the smoothness you had hoped for in this game. Garnett Davis III still in the backfield. Nunez at quarterback. Gibson the near side of the field. Smith, who hasn't done anything, far side of the field. Looking down there, tipped, almost intercepted there. Really nice hands by Cerritos, and excellent defense by Cerritos on the field.
Nunez with the one-look throw. Trying to hit Gibson on the left side, but double team underneath, had a player in front of him. In back, had a player in front. Just no semblance of offense for either squad at this juncture in the game. And guys, I'm going to give it more to the defense rather than the offense sputtering.
4:16 to go. Simpson comes in. We'll see if Simpson looks for his favorite receiver, Tyrone Bates. At least he was the last game. Leading receiver. Goes back. Bates all by himself. Nobody there. In Bates' hands. Bates goes all the way down to the 8-yard line.
56 yards on the pass and catch from Simpson to Bates. And again, he was wide open, and that's that significance that Chandler Brown plays in the secondary. Salem Streeter gets beat as the safety. And on the near side, there's no help from Christian Cross, the corner.
So they're going to mark him down at the 10. Like I said, you wondered if he was going to look for his favorite receiver. And that's exactly what he did. He found the man he wanted open. Doss now to the other side of the field. They're going to hand it off for that quick little spin over there. Davon Booth takes it, but gets down. We've got a flag in the middle of the field. Might be holding against Cerritos.
And it is. There was a couple holds, Mark, right in the middle of the field. There's a hold. There was a hold on the outside as well, clearing the edge. That positive play is going to back up and make that 1st and goal a little bit more difficult for Cerritos. And you mentioned Tyron Bates. Last week, 109 yards in their first outing against Pasadena.
Yeah, and really when you looked at him, Corey, I mean, he had 4 catches for 109 yards, so he can get open. Bates comes to the near side of the field. Sanchez goes to the far side of the field. Booth in the backfield. Simpson comes back. Here comes the pressure. Simpson's going to step up. Takes off running himself. Gets across the 20. Is taken down at the 18.
So Bryce Dunnick and Branson Tita Noir hit on the stop. And again, good downfield coverage this time by the Hornets. Simpson had nowhere to go. Had a sliver of an opening.
So they're going to mark it at the 18. It's 2nd and goal from the 18 for Cerritos with 2:42 to go here in the first quarter. Bates goes to the far side of the field. Simpson looks for somebody, throws it strictly over the flat, gets it out there quickly to Doss.
And to say the Fullerton defense is not on the same page in this first quarter of the game might be an understatement, guys. Everybody dropped back into the end zone, and they see somebody running out in the flat for Cerritos. Luckily, Cerritos didn't get much gain on that one if you're a Hornet fan.
So Doss finds an opening. Bates goes to the far side of the field. Sanchez comes to the near side of the field. Doss in the slot. Simpson just stands there and looks, overshoots his receiver, incomplete pass. So it's going to bring it up 4th down and goal from the 10. We should see a field goal attempt.
I was looking for Noah Sanchez. Good pressure by Cassius Kearns. And Brian Crooks' defense, he brought pressure after that huge first play of this series for the Cerritos.
Bojorquez comes in. They're going to spot the ball at the 16. Yeah, 10. 26-yard attempt. It's up, and it's good. So Cerritos, with 1:48 to go here in the first quarter, gets on the board first. It's Cerritos 3, the Hornets 0, here on SportsNetUSA.net.
A couple people in the booth had this more of a high-scoring game. One person had it as a low-scoring game. It looks like that low-scoring game, if there's any indication of this first quarter, may occur with only 1:48 to play in this first quarter. Neither team doing anything on offense.
Well, and the thing is, again, you talked about, you thought it was better defense. Ryan and I sort of thought the offense was off. And Corey, you really does. I mean, Cerritos mixes up their defense. That's why I asked you early in the game, what are they running?
Yeah, they got a 3-3-5 out there. Not necessarily a 4-3, but their third linebacker out on the outside gets up there and lines up as an edge rusher. But they have 5 defensive backs out there, not creating any space for the Hornet quarterbacks to find open receivers.
So Stewart back deep one more time. Bojorquez kicking off for the Falcons. Lots of leg in that one. Drives it deep into the end zone. And the Falcons decide, let's go get the Hornets. The Hornets decide they're bringing it out. Out to the 30. Helmet on the field. Flag on the field. And we'll see who those penalties are at. So The Hornets have a helmet on the field. We've got flags on the field, and the run comes all the way out to the 31-yard line. So we have a flag at the 30, a flag at the 31. The ball spotted at the 31. We'll have the officials sort this out with 1:43 to go. Little conversation in the middle of the field. I think they're discussing, do you think it's going to rain or it's going to stay just overcast? Ryan Osborn says, I think I know what happened.
Yeah, one of the Hornets on that return ended up losing his helmet but re-engaging with play. And that new rule in college football that was instituted last year is that if you lose your helmet, you have to immediately take yourself out of the play and or get to the sideline, or at least make an effort to do so.
And that was Brandon's son, who last week against Santa Ana had a couple of, well, special teams plays that were memorable. So they get to hold on the first one, and then there's the unsportsmanlike conduct call.
And that would probably be the helmet
That
one.
is the helmet.
So that's the helmet one with the unsportsmanlike conduct. They declined the holding penalty, and then they went with unsportsmanlike conduct, and Ryan says that's because a player who lost his helmet stayed engaged in the play. So it's going to take it all the way back to the 15. So it would be against for the Hornets on the kickoff. So that's going to move them all the way back to the 15-yard line with 1:43 to go. I feel like it's been 1:43 for the last 4.5 hours as we're still in the first quarter here on Sportsnet USA.net. Josh Calvin back in the game. Calvin looks, throws it to Will Gibson. Will Gibson on a little easy crossing pattern, Corey, gets a gain of 10.
And Josh Calvin, the best arm on the Fullerton Hornet team in that quarterbacking unit. You see him rise up and just throw a dart to Gibson.
Tyrell Green Jr. in at running back. So Gibson to the near side of the field. They hand it off to Tyrell Green Jr. Takes it off the middle, cuts the outside, looking for a block at the 50. Little stiff arm across midfield down to the 45-yard line for the Hornets.
31-yard run for Tyrell Green Jr. This is what he does. He burst through the hole last week on that 50-yarder for a touchdown. It was a surprise everybody how quickly he was shot out the offensive line. And again, big pickup for the Hornets. Maybe that's that jump start that they need.
C.J. Broy to the far side of the field with Koenig. Still Josh Calvin at quarterback. We're going to get a flag, should be motion. We'll see if that's what's called.
I don't think the O-line was set.
Illegal motion against the Hornets. We're going to move them back 5 yards with 49 seconds to go. Back across midfield to the 49. Hornets change out.
Yeah, that last run, Peroni, Medelis, and Garcia opened up the hole for Green to run through. Cameron Woods, he was hurt in the first couple plays of the ball game. Now he's back in, the big tight end from Vegas.
So Woods and Levias now come back in. They're the wide receivers for the Hornets. Josh Calvin, once again, the quarterback, looks over, runs a straight dive play up the middle. Keep the running moving, keep the legs going, and that's Tyler Green Jr. for a gain of 18 yards, first down.
So on that false start, or excuse me, the illegal motion penalty on Fullerton, they ended up losing 6.5 yards because the officials put it about 1.5 yards too far back.
Josh Calvin comes back, has time, rolls away from the pressure, tucks it down himself. We're going to get holding on Calvin as the Hornets go down there, and Corey, that was an easy call on George Silva, who decided to grab the defender. Interesting. We heard our offensive line coach, Ryan, during practice when I said there weren't a lot of penalties for holding. He goes, that's because my young offensive line, when they don't know who to block, they don't know who to hold. Well, I guess they learned who they're supposed to grab on that play. So that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. As we come to the end of the first quarter, it's going to be Cerritos 3, the Hornets 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Well, are they going to let them play one last play? So there's an untimed down coming here. Hornets get untimed. Cross the middle. Gibson tries to get it. There's the flag for pass interference. They hook Gibson's shoulder. Gibson gets turned. And when he gets turned, it's an easy penalty.
Chandler Nixon out of the Harbor High School. He goes up with Gibson, but unfortunately he put that left hand on the left arm, spun him around. Even if that ball is not catchable, well, we don't know if it was catchable because he was spun around, that's going to be pass interference all day. And what we like, it's only 15 yards in the college game and the high school game, which is so much better.
And so it was on the defense, another untimed down for the Hornets in this first quarter. Once again, looking, feeling the pressure, takeoff running. Nobody's going to pick up the young man who can run the football. Gets it all the way down to the 17, and that should and I'll wait before I say this, bring us to the end of the first quarter. So as we come to the end of the first quarter, it's now Cerritos 3, the Hornets 0, here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Ryan, Corey, the old guy. Well, I don't know. It's felt a little overcast here in the booth in that first quarter here on Sportsnet, USA.net. John Van Gaston sitting to my right, making sure I stay out of trouble. Phil Thurman looking down there. Greg saying, well, I'm like you guys. I'm not sure what's going on, but we'll figure it out sooner or later before this game comes to an end here on Sportsnet, USA.net. So Cerritos up by 3 as we head to the second quarter. It's the Falcons 3, the Hornets 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Josh Calvin at quarterback. Far side of the field is C.J. Broy. In the slot next to him is going to be Jordan Smith. Tyrell Green Jr. in the backfield. Will Gibson to the right side of the field or the near side of the field. First down and 10 for the Hornets at the 13. Throw, flag on the play. Touchdown, but it could be coming back. Flag holding against the Hornets. It's coming back.
And they're going to say it might be against Sherrod Green with the hold. Could be Sammy Garcia, but again, negates the touchdown. Josh Calvin steps up in the pocket. Will Gibson completes his post. And we'll see, can they go back to that same exact play?
So we're going to get it marched back at the 30.
So Ryan,
the officials are looking at each other. Now they're going to mark it at the 29.
So Ryan mentioned that they marked off 6 yards on this series. The last series, they marched it off 16 yards on that unsportsmanlike conduct play.
And now they're looking, the down marker is like, what am I supposed to be at?
That's 10 yards. They're on that new math, fellas.
I tell you what. Straight dive play, up the middle, trying to get something going. Tyrell Green Jr. can't find a hole. gets a gain of maybe a yard.
Aiden Chapman with the stop along with Isaac Taulili.
Jordan Smith comes in. He's going to the far side of the field. C.J. Broy goes with him. Koenig's going to be in the slot. Malik Winston now in at running back. Gibson to the near side of the field. Looking, standing, feeling middle of the field, trying, touch, just short. And Jordan Smith down at the 1. Smith finally gets involved.
And again, the seams and the posts are working for Fullerton. They're spreading out that defense for Cerritos, and they're not able to recover in the middle of the field.
So they're going to stop things.
Timeout was taken by Cerritos, Mark. And again,
go ahead, Corey.
Chandler Nixon makes the stop on Jordan Smith, but you see the presence that Josh Calvin has in the pocket, the way he allowed his blockers to block and not hold, stayed present with it, stepped up and fired a rocket.
And that's really when you look at Jordan Smith, who was something at the Santa Ana game. Now he gets involved. Gibson gets involved. A couple balls thrown his direction. And so the offense starts to warm up a little for both these teams. As it's Cerritos 3, the Hornets 0, here on Sportsnet, USA.net. So Cerritos comes out on defense. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Hornets at the 1. Josh Calvin out at quarterback. The deep running back for the Hornets, Malik Winston. Jumbo set. They give it to Winston. Winston is, wait for an official, they say he's short. So it's going to be 2nd and goal for the Hornets, probably at the half-yard mark. Maybe make it a foot away. Once again, they go with the jumbo. Shelvin, one of the up backs. Malik Winston, the deep setback. Hand it off to Malik Winston. They're going to mark him down. Touchdown, Hornets. So Malik Winston finally gets in with 13:33 to go here in the second quarter on Sportsnet, USA.net.
Better offensive series for the Hornets. And again, they're a series where they move the ball down the field. They looked down the field to make plays. They didn't settle for anything at the line of scrimmage or side to side.
Faubert comes in for the point after. Flag on the play. So we'll see what Jonathan does. He made 6 extra points in the Santa Ana game.
He was perfect, 6 for 6. I think he was 2 for 2 for field goals.
Yeah, I think the longest field goal was 39 yards in his game. So they're going to spot it at the 15. You add 10, that's a 25-yard attempt. Ball is spotted. Kick is up, and the kick is good. With 13:33 to go here in the first half, it's now the Hornets 7, Cerritos 3 here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
Ryan, you got something for us?
Good game.
Okay.
Hispanic Heritage Month here on Sportsnet, USA.net. So we'll see a little about that, talk about the coaching staff, what the athletic department really does. When you say that phrase, Ryan, the athletic department represents that phrase when you look at the amount of coaches that are Hispanic at Fullerton College.
Yeah, Mark, we'll get into it more at halftime in addition to the rankings as well, but a lot of diversity on the staff at Fullerton College throughout the entire athletic department, especially if you want to talk about Hispanic Heritage Month. There's some Hispanic coaches on campus who have some championship pedigree and are revolutionizing the way that sports are looked at in Southern California.
Marcus Minor is back deep. Taking it to 4. Looking for an opening. Gets drugged. Grabbed by the foot. Going to get across the 20. They're going to mark him down.
So Jamel Blindman, the second.
So Blindman gets it over to the 23-yard line for Cerritos, and we'll see now with the offense if they pick up the tempo.
So Fullerton have Tyler Carter in the middle. He gets this series as a defensive tackle.
Sanchez to the near side of the field. Bates, who's looked good, to the far side of the field. First down and 10. They run it straight there. Hayes tries to get someplace. Michael Hayes gets spun back for a loss of about 1 on the play.
And Tyler Carter was making his presence known. He was in the backfield at the same time as a handoff. But again, forces them to go the other direction, loses a yard. Tackled by Carlo Torres.
Second down and 11 for the Falcons.
Carter out of River Rouge.
Bates again stays at the far side of the field. Doss now comes a slot to the near side of the field. Throw a quick one out here in the flat. Turn the corner. Nice little play taken right there.
An extended run play on the flat there as the Falcons couldn't get anything off tackle, so they extend that. It's a pass. But in the backfield, it's more like a long pitch play. Picks up positive yardage.
Yeah, and Davis being a running back knew what to do with it. Davis now comes out of the game. Leoch comes now into the game, so Davis and him exchange places. Run a quarterback option, look in the middle of the field. All by yourself. We'll just drop it into the breadbasket. And Doss just says, thank you very much. I'll take that one, as Doss was all by himself. And so Doss comes up with a big touchdown with 11:48 to go here in the second quarter.
Beautiful ball fake by Will Simpson in the backfield, Mark. Fullerton read the out pattern all the way. They read the handoff all the way. They read that Simpson was going to have a quarterback keeper on the right side. J.C. and Dotts just scoops down the field and is wide open, beats everyone, and that's an easy as 6 you'll see in this ballgame.
A quick little 70-yard play to get on the board. So a nice little 70-yard touchdown pass.
And that's kind of what Cerritos has been missing the last few years, that dynamicisms.
Well, what they've added is another receiver because, you know, as I was talking with the SID for Cerritos, John Van Gaston, John said, you know, the thing that they had in that first game was one receiver. That was Bates. Now what they've done is maybe found that second receiver for their team. And if Jordan Simpson can get a variety of receivers now on his team, Cerritos upgrades quickly on doing that. So, you know, when John and I were talking early in the game, John proceeded to tell us, yeah, that's what they've got right now. Well, you look at this game, they have found at least that second receiver. And as the game goes on, Corey Neyland, if they find more, those defensive backs for Fullerton might be in trouble.
Yeah, they got to stay at home. Fullerton bit on every single fake on that pass play. 70-yard touchdown pass. And that first quarter, slow, methodical. This second quarter looks like we may have picked up in this ball game. Stewart and Love back deep for the Hornets.
So it looked like I was going to be close when nobody was scoring, and now all of a sudden they're exchanging touchdowns with 11:48 to go. They have found that offense they could not find. They probably went down to the snack bar, got a little candy, got a little sugar rush, and now they're ready to rock and roll here on Sportsnet, USA.net. A little pop fly that's going to go out of bounds. Let's see where the official marks that at, as they should walk down and see where they think it went out at, not where it did go out at. Illegal procedure against Cerritos.
So it'll be first down and 10 from the 35.
It should be. We'll see if that's where they're going to spot it at. It's been an interesting set to watch these officials marking the ball. So the ball will get marked at the 35 for going out of bounds on the kickoff. Be first down and 10 for the Hornets at the 35, and they will mark it at the far hash mark at the far side of the field. 11:48 to go. Here in the first half, it's Cerritos 10, Fullerton 7 on Sportsnet, USA.net. Josh Calvin comes out. Michael Love goes to the far side of the field. Josh Calvin. Here comes the pressure. Calvin looks it, throws it to Gibson. Gibson has it knocked away, incomplete pass, touches the ground. So it'll be a second down and 10 at the 35.
Jaden Dunlap on the stop on the pass breakup. And again, Fullerton setting up something to go down deep. They had Gibson, little slant play, trying to get Calvin working. As wholesale substitutions throughout the first half for the Falcons.
Gibson goes to the far side of the field. Smith to the near side of the field. Koenig in the slot. Koenig in the slot on the near side of the field. Josh Calvin gets people in motion. Here comes Calvin. Looks for right there. Gives it to Gibson. Gibson stays on his feet. Looks for a block. Turns. Finds an opening. Gets taken down short of a first down. They're going to mark him down right at the 44-yard line.
That with the flag on the play, is that a push in the back line or a hold?
I believe it was a hold on the far side. At least that's what it looked like from here.
Holding against the Hornets. So we're going to move it back to the 30. It'll be second down and 15 at the 30-yard line.
Hornets had almost 20 penalties last week against Santa Ana.
So Gibson goes to the far side of the field. Near side of the field is Jordan Smith with Koenig again. Garnett Davis III now at running back. They hand it to Garnett Davis III, who gets up to the 30 and is stuffed right there with 11 minutes to go here in the second quarter at Fullerton District Stadium. Here on SportsNetUSA.net. Smith goes to the far side of the field. They flip over. Gibson comes to the near side of the field. C.J. Broy now goes to the far side of the field also. Josh Calvin looks things over. Calvin goes back. Looks down, middle of the field. Trying to get Jordan Smith. He had his man beaten by a couple steps, but the ball was overthrown.
Needs a little bit more loft on that, but he had Jordan Smith. It was one-on-one. Safety was late on the rotation. Will Gibson on the near side. He was hoping he'd get some run on this side. Both had one-on-one. But again, good defense by Cerritos to force another punt. The third punt of the day.
So Davis is back deep for Cerritos. Davis will stand at the 39-yard line. Hornets are short somebody, trying to get him on the field. So Davis, with his jersey out, says, well, I'm going to show you a little speed, and we're going to get a flag on the play. Delay a game against the Hornets. So 10:30, we're going to march them back 5 more yards. Moves them back to the 25. Always love coming to the games with the fans. almost blocked. Davis goes back, signals for a fair catch late, and will catch it right at the 40-yard line. So with 10:25 to go, it's the Falcons 10, the Hornets 7 on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey, Ryan, a group of old guys up in the booth watching community college football here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Probably the best bang for your dollar. You love sports, you should come out to community college football game, basketball game, softball, baseball at any of your local community colleges. Run an option play. Nice little pitch out there trying to get around the corner is Davon Booth, the running back. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage.
And it's impressive to get back to the line of scrimmage because he should have lost 5, but a little slip move enabled him to pick up no gain. Joshua Little makes the stop. Jeremiah McNeely and Harm, that is Chris Harm, are the linebackers for the Hornets. Near side is Christian Cross, far side is Maximus Ahoya are the corners.
So Booth stays in the game. Tyrone Bates comes on the near side of the field. Doss with him. Jordan Simpson at quarterback. Simpson looks, throws that out here for Doss. Just underarms it a little short there. So Doss was open, but the ball couldn't get there by Simpson.
And let's see if they try to exploit the middle of the field since Chandler Brown went out early in that first quarter. Last possession, they went 70 yards for a 6. That's Salen Streeter, one safety, and Kadari Kearns is the other. For Streeter, 25 is Kearns.
So Booth comes out of the game at running back. Tight formation. Now for the Falcons on a 3rd and 10 at the 40. Jordan Simpson goes back, has time, across the middle of the field, and Simpson just throws a BB for a first down. Corey Neyland, you gotta like that throw as he gets it. The layoff right across the middle of the field.
Yeah, not deep in the middle of the field, but again, exploiting the middle as the linebackers come up. Sidearm throw, as Ryan Osborn says. And Pav over the backers, under the safeties. First down, keeps the chains moving.
1st and 10 at the 39. Bates goes to the far side of the field. Sanchez is at the near side of the field. Simpson at quarterback, having a good game. Simpson hangs it off. Little spin move, and I tell you what, you've got to like Davon Booth as a running back. Every time he touches the ball, he finds a way not to lose any yardage when he's out there.
Yeah, I had that coconut oil on his jersey. He slips through 3 tackles to pick up 8. Make that 7.
So Booth gets a little gain on that. Davon Booth stays back there. Jordan Simpson at quarterback looks things over. 2nd and 3, just short of the 30. Simpson floats it up the middle of the field, just off the fingertips. Close to getting it there and getting who he wanted to. His favorite receiver, Tyrone Bates, who's had an outrageous night tonight already for the Falcons.
And that's good coverage by Max Ahoya. Turns his head at the right time, creates enough deflection to force that to be an incomplete pass.
Bates comes in near side of the field. Now Booth goes into the slot. Empty backfield for the Falcons. Jordan Simpson looks things over. Now Booth comes in motion. They fake it to Booth. Simpson takes it himself, gets across the 25. Should be a first down for Cerritos.
And again, it freezes the linebacker on that jet sweep that it looks like they're going to run. So it freezes the linebackers, and everyone else goes with the ball in the back. Simpson, keeps the ball, easy first down. And again, all they're doing is moving those chains. And here's your cliche mark, matriculating down the field into Hornet territory.
First down and 10, right at the 25. Simpson brings them out. Tight formation. Sanchez comes in at quarterback. So Sanchez now at quarterback. I thought for a second it came out, but Booth refuses to let go. So Sanchez now comes in at quarterback for Cerritos.
Simpson helmet came off, so he had to leave for that play. And Davon Booth, Mark, he went over 100 yards last week. So he's not a stranger to picking up positive yardage.
Well, I've got him now officially. I had him down for 81 yards in last week.
Yeah, it's 81, but I'm going to say it's 100.
Okay, you're going to give him 100? You're
I'm
going to give him an extra 19?
I'm going to give him an extra 19
Boy,
yards.
Corey Neyland is generous to think about that. Booth stays in the backfield. Jordan Simpson back in the game at quarterback. Simpson goes back. Middle of the field. Down there, what a catch by Doss, who goes down to get it, scoops it off the artificial turf. Touchdown, Cerritos.
And again, they're exploiting the starting safety out of the ball game. Where is your weakness? When your all conference guys not there, you go to their backup. Again, another 6 points for the Falcons.
So they run for 2. Fick in the corner, put down. Are they going to call him in?
Yeah,
yes. 2-point conversion.
That's
So
Jacob
a nice,
Layhawk.
great by Layhawk, pulling out there and getting a 2-pointer. So now Cerritos is pulling out all the stops. And Corey, here's the thing. I'm going to go back as we look at it right now. And Cerritos is up 18-7. And I'm going to go back to the SID at Cerritos. John Van Gaston talked about the first game where they only had one receiver. And it looks like Fullerton was trying to take away Bates, saying, you've got nobody else. Now all of a sudden you look at Doss that has become this receiver, and it has become a multitude of offense for Cerritos, and the defense is not adapted for the Hornets.
True.
18-7 with 7:03 to go. Taken deep in the end zone by Michael Love. Michael Love looking at the 20, needs a couple blocks. Stops for a second, stays on his feet, gets drugged out of bounds at the 23. We have a scrum. It's going to be a flag, and we'll see who that is. Should it be offsetting?
Yes.
Okay.
For the Hornets, Allie Louis Charles was there, and that was actually Mr. Bridges.
So 6:54 to go here in the first half. And Cerritos is showing versatility, ingenuity, multiplicity when they're playing against the defense from the Hornets.
And so Louis Charles for the Hornets was there. Bridges for Cerritos.
So offsetting personal fouls at Nate Gates, both of them. First down and 10 at the 29-yard line. Josh Calvin comes back out at quarterback.
Hornets will need a score before this half to get back into this ball game. 33-31, the Cerritos beat Pasadena last week, so they know close games.
Josh Calvin keeps it himself. Gets across the 30. They're going to mark him down at the 34. Gain of 5 on the play.
And Jonathan Fuamatu makes the stop. And again, that close game, Cerritos might have served them well in that first matchup. The Hornets haven't been in rhythm on offense here in the second game of the season like they were against Santa Ana in the key to the county.
Tyrell Green Jr. in at running back. They hand it off to Tyrell Green Jr. It's a foot race. Trying to get a block by Gibson. Stays on his feet. Taken out at the 18-yard line.
And that is a gain of 51 yards for Tyrell Green Jr. That's his longest run of the season after that 50-yard run last week against Santa Ana. And again, there's an injured player for the Cerritos Falcons. As they were rushing in, 7 different players are substituting. Hornets tried to quick it. And this is the second time the Falcons are let up or let off in that situation. So again, they go off tackle. That was Sherrard Green and Sammy Garcia, who opened the hole for Green Jr. And again, where'd that come from? We saw flashes last year before he got injured.
So it's going to be spotted at the 18, first down and 10.
But that's the thing, Corey. Those who saw him last year, it's not unexpected to them.
Green stays in the backfield. Gibson in the near side of field. Josh Calvin goes back, has time, steps away from the pressure, throws it to wide open man at the 11. So nice little scramble, a quick pitch out there, and C.J. Broy, first time he's had anything thrown in his direction.
And this drive thus far, positive.
Gain of 5. Second down and 5 at the 13. Hand it off. Once again, this time Cerritos is there to shut the door on Tyrell Green Jr., Corey Neyland. They stuffed him on the play.
Much like the 2007-2008 Lakers, 1-on-5 ain't going to do it.
So it's going to mark it back to about the 16. Third down and 9. Calvin looks things over. Big third down play. Looks, stands, waits, throws, middle of the field, pick in the end zone and dropped. Oh, it was there for the taking. And you know what? When that young lady says, I'll go out with you, you need to say, yes, ma'am.
And that's on Josh Calvin. Again, he moves up in the pocket, and he should have or could have run to pick up that first down. Instead, he tries to go over the middle and hit a receiver. He had someone on the right side who was more open with his second look. Got to make that decision just a little bit quicker.
They bring up Faubert. They'll spot it at the 23 at 10, a 33-yard attempt. The ball is up. Line drive. It's good. 4:34 to go. Well, shades of Sammy Pelescu. Little line drive kick for a three-pointer here with 4:34 to go in the first half on Sportsnet, USA.net. Falcons 18, Hornets 10. Corey, the old guy. Ryan Osborn down at the end. Ryan Osborn, once again, a little stutter step by the Hornet offense. There has been no sense of smoothness like there was last week.
I mean, we talked about it in the first quarter. Neither side at the time looked like they had any rhythm to them. Now all of a sudden you look at Cerritos and what are they doing? Well, they take the top off the Fullerton College defense and they found something that works for them. However, when you look at Fullerton College, they haven't found that one play besides giving it to Tyrell Green that has really said, okay, this is the play that has called out to us. This is the play that we can go to if we're uncomfortable. The Hornets need to be able to find that one play, and they need to do it quickly.
So the Hornets get on the board with 4:33, but can they stop the Falcons who have found an offense in this game? Taking it to 4, looking for an opening, staying on his feet. He's got people in front of him, driven out of bounds at 30. Really nice return by the Falcons with 4:25 to go. And now the defense. Brian Grooks' defense, guys, looked masterful last week.
Gave up negative 2 yards to Santa Ana last week.
Tonight, they look confused against a very good Cerritos offense. Doss, who's been magnificent, comes in the near side of the field. Sanchez outside him. First down and 10, right at the 33-yard line. Jordan Simpson wants to crank it up, doesn't. They're going to hand it off. It looks like Puka is going to carry that one.
Now I'll go again. Nice job following his blocks. You don't need to break the home run or get the home run every single carry. 4, 4, 4, and 25. That'll work if you get it.
They mark him at the 36. Long 3 or maybe 4 for him.
It's away from me this time.
Tyrone Bates goes to the far side of the field. Run it again, straight up the middle. Gain of maybe 1 on the play.
That time, Hill and Dunnick,
Yeah, 36.
they converge. So 3:34, big third down for the Hornets. As with 3:30 left to play in this first half mark, if they can get the ball back with the stop here, they got a chance to get at least 3 more points.
And this is where Jordan Simpson's going to look for a little protection and find that wide open receiver. He's been able to do it tonight. Bates goes to the far side of the field. Doss goes with him. They have been the beautiful hands for the Cerritos football team. Simpson goes back, and where does he go? Well, with the guys that have been open, just overshoots Bates. And Bates had man-to-man coverage, and Corey, the defense was there.
Yeah, the defense, that was up front by Ali Louis Charles, who forced Simpson to get rid of the ball before he wanted to, took a shot to the ribs, and forced that incomplete pass.
Jordan Smith will be back deep just under 3 minutes here in the first half, trailing by 18 at Cerritos 18. The Hornets 10 on Sportsnet, USA.net. High floater, Smith goes after it, looks down, takes it himself. Smith straight up the field, stays on his feet, cuts at the 40, goes the outside. We've got a flag. That's coming back someplace. So we'll see, but that should be or could be on the Hornets. We'll see what happens. Nice return by Smith, but it may be negated.
So it's about a 22, 23-yard punt return. But where the flag was, he was following a blocker. And if we get holding, that's going to back him up. But again, decent field position that they will have with 2:45 to play in the first half.
Personal foul against the Hornets. First down. So it's a personal foul. Ryan, did you see what that foul might have been?
I did not. I saw the location of it. It was right at the 47-yard line on the far sideline. But I didn't see a personal foul. I was expecting more of a hold or a block in the back.
So they're going to take it back to the 38. Josh Calvin stays in at quarterback. Not much quarterback change in this game. Gibson here to the near side of the field. First down and 10. Right at the 38, 2:45 to go for the Hornets, trailing by 8. Josh goes back, has time. We're going to get another flag. He slides down. So it's going to be another hold against this young offensive line for the Hornets.
And we got to think, is it over under 8 penalties in this first half for the Hornets?
And now the official picked up the flag and put it back. So it is holding against the Hornets. So they're going to move it back. It's right now at the 38.
So much for that excellent field position.
Going to move it back to the 28. It's going to bring up a second down. No, we'll make it a first down and 20 for the Hornets. Gibson to the near side of the field. First down and 20. Josh Calvin still at quarterback. Lights setting in on the far side of the field. Hornets run the ball. Josh Calvin keeps it himself. So the quarterback stays on a quarterback keeper. Picks up a nice chunk of change. Going to make it second down and 7 here with 2 minutes to go.
And guys, do you like the rule change that was implemented a few years ago? Even though he goes out of bounds, they continue to run the clock?
I don't like that. I don't like it at all. So second down and 7 right at the 41. Hornets need to pick up the pace. Nobody seems in any rush. They come back. Here comes the pressure. Calvin's got it, looks middle of field. Gibson's got it. Gibson cuts the corner, stumbles down at the 31. First down for the Hornets, stops the clock. 1st and 10, all the way down at the 33. So Gibson finally catches one. It'll be interesting to see what the stats are in this first half.
Chandler Nixon with the stop. And again, the way he steps up in the pocket and comfortable to stay in there for 4 seconds.
1st down and 10. Going deep. Nobody there, no chance as Gibson comes up limping. So he's off the field. And you're hoping that it's just a cramp, not that ugly thing that everybody expects, a hamstring.
So Gibson had that big catch to put him in this, put them at the 32-yard line of the Falcons with 1:13 to play in the second quarter, guys. Would be a big blow.
So 1:13 to go. It's the Falcons 18, the Hornets 10 here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
And again, their best plays, guys, have been going to the middle of the field.
Crossing pattern.
Crossing patterns and the seam routes. So look for their tight end, Cameron Woods, now to pick up that slack. Will Gibson, as he skips off the field.
So, Corey, the receivers that were hurt a lot from, like you said, you brought up Woods. Woods hasn't been hurt up tonight at all. People that were there were 4 or 5 receivers that were significant last week. We haven't heard from them in this game.
So it looks like Ryan Franklin now comes in for Gibson on that far side.
So Franklin in the game on the far side. Tyrell Green Jr. still in at running back. 2nd down and 10. Fake it to Green. Calvin gets some chance. Straight arms 1. Goes down. Steps inside the 30. Down to the 28. 3rd down and 6. 57 seconds. The Hornets have 3 timeouts and are not using any of them. Finally, they use 1. So they let the clock go, Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland, for an additional 8 seconds before they call a timeout. You've got them to spend the money. Guys, you can't waste the timeout that way. Timeout on the field. Cerritos 18. Fullerton 10 on Sportsnet, USA.net.
Mark, you look at the paces of the last 2 quarters. The first quarter, very, we'll say, we don't want to say slow, but it was a long trek. It didn't look like it was free flowing for both sides. But then all of a sudden you take a look at the second quarter, and both of these 2 teams have just found one specific area that suits them. The long ball for Cerritos, and like you guys were talking about, the crossing patterns for Fullerton College. It's starting to churn the wheels a little bit more for this Fullerton College offense. And you're starting to see both of these 2 teams finally get into that rhythm that they want to see.
I'm going to say maturity for Cerritos. They've realized they've got more than 1 receiver. So maturity has happened for the offense of Cerritos. 3rd down on a long 7 inside the 30. Calvin looks. Here comes the pressure. Throws up and has no receiver as they just opened up the floodgate defensively and got to Josh Calvin.
Yeah, everybody came on the blitz. There was Ronell Taboo Jr., Zaire Thornton, and a host of other Falcons to bring the pressure. The first time they brought the pressure against the Hornets.
Well, they're going to spot the ball at the 35. You add 10, that is a 45-yard attempt. And that's not even close. And so Cerritos defense, which has been excellent all night long. And I tell you what, the Cerrito fans have shown up for this game across the way. and they are just enjoying the game they're seeing tonight. The defense has played well. The offense has played well, and the Hornets are sitting in the back seat of that Chevy, not going anyplace right now. "42 seconds now. Cerritos has realized they've got multiple receivers. Corey Neyland, I'm looking at my young quarterback, Jordan Simpson, and I'm saying, find somebody now. And you've got 3 opportunities to go deep. Let's see if he does that. Davon Booth back in, and they're going to take a kneel with 42 seconds.
You got an 8-point lead.
I don't care. I would go deep. I like the passing attack of Cerritos. I'd throw it at least twice and then take a knee.
No, with 42 seconds left, that's still enough time. If you do get picked or if there are incomplete passes, it does stop the clock. And you don't want to give Fullerton any type of opportunity to go deep or some miracle play, a pick 6, which they had 2 last week against Santa Ana. So here you go in with an 8-point lead against a team that people are probably picking as favorite. You know, you like to call by Cerritos and Dean Grossfeld, or Coach Grossfeld, not Grossfield, but Grossfeld.
So that's going to take us to the end of the first half. An up and down situation for both these teams, but as we walk off the field, Cerritos comes away over Fullerton, 18-10, here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Well, we've talked about it being Hispanic Heritage Month on Sportsnet, USA.net, and at Fullerton College. And when we look at that here on Sportsnet, USA.net, we talk and look at some of the more prolific athletic teams around here. And, of course, you know, Ryan Osborn, if you look at championships, national championships, it has been the Hispanic coaches for Fullerton that has brought in the recent national championships at Fullerton College, especially in the world of water polo, that we will see later this season on 90.1 KBPK.
Yeah, Mark, if you want to talk about Hispanic Heritage Month at Fullerton College, well, you take a look at the water polo team. That's where we'll start. You take a look at that water polo program that has been so prolific. Gabriel Martinez leading the way for the Fullerton College Hornets and turning that program into a, well, we'll say it, a near dynasty in Southern California. Under Coach Gabriel Martinez's direction, this is a team that has won 2 national championships, been to multiple championship finals in the last 8 years. That's right, 2 national championships in the last 8 years at Fullerton College, thanks to Coach Gabriel Martinez. Now, when you also take a look at another coach on campus, the men's soccer side, well, you take a look at Greg Aviles and the way that he has been changing, revolutionizing, and really just transcending how soccer is looked upon in Southern California. It's different. Why do I say that? Well, that's because he has established a different type of program over at Fullerton College. It's not what it used to be in Southern California when you take a look at Greg Avila's program. Normally you would think, okay, a soccer program, they go out, they practice, they play their soccer games, and then they get off the field and everyone moves on to their studies and academics. That's not the case with Coach Greg Avila's program. The way that he has treated his program is he has turned it essentially into a soccer academy, something that you don't really see around Southern California because it's not necessarily part of the soccer culture. He has changed that. He has turned it into an academy and gives students the opportunity to learn about the job force, to learn about job interview etiquette, to learn about what different careers they can take immediately following their time at Fullerton College. So if you take a look at Greg Aviles, another Hispanic coach at Fullerton College, changing how things are done for the Fullerton College Hornets. Now, another coach that I want to be able to take a look at is Coach Crystal Aguirre. I have had the opportunity to interview her multiple times, and it has always been a pleasure. Coach Crystal Aguirre, recently named the head coach of Fullerton College softball, in the last 2 years has had really nice success. And when I talk about nice success, I'm talking about a conference championship that hasn't been at Fullerton in quite some time. 2021, the Fullerton College Hornets win a regular season conference crown for the first time in years. And again, that is not just a coincidence when you take a look at Coach Crystal Aguirre and Marian Mendoza. Coach Speedy Mendoza, both of those two, again, Hispanic head coaches at Fullerton College, getting the opportunity to change the way that sports are done on campus at Fullerton College. So if you take a look at Hispanic Heritage Month, well, you got to take a look at those Fullerton College Hornet coaches who are giving student athletes an opportunity to forward themselves, giving them an opportunity to embetter themselves not just on the court, on the field, in the pool, but also when they step out of their athletic realms as well. So a big thank you to those coaches and a quick spotlight on them. It will bring us to the rankings in the entire state of California. We will start off with the rankings and then move to the current scores around the state, and then we'll have a little bit of the stats coming up once we get closer to the start of the second half. So last week we talked about who was number one in the state of California, and it started off with City College of San Francisco. That was their right. They won the national championship the previous year, so they got the opportunity to start off in the preseason poll as number one. They end up having a win last week, and they keep at number one in the state rankings. Riverside City College getting 4 first-place votes, had a pretty dominating win last week. They stay at 1-0, and Ventura and San Mateo at 3 and 4. So the top 4 all remain the same. It stays at City College of San Francisco, Riverside City, and then Ventura, and you follow it up with College of San Mateo, and then it is College of the Canyons. Now, College of the Canyons, if you listen to Mark and Corey coming up later on in the broadcast, you'll hear a little bit more about College of the Canyons because Fullerton College is going to travel to College of the Canyons starting next week. That's going to be a 6 p.m. game. Fullerton College, once again, getting a chance to take on the Cougars over in Santa Clarita. So, College of the Canyons, number 5. Right after them, it is number 6, Golden West, with American River directly behind. And then Fullerton at number 8. So Fullerton gets a big jump going from 13 all the way up to number 8 overall. That's a big jump for the Hornets. They go up 5. Mount Sac also moves into the top 10 due to a few losses. Now, specifically, it is Butte, Fresno City, and Modesto who are all sitting from 7 through 12. Each of those teams got a loss. Butte had a huge upset by College of the Sequoias, and so they dropped to 0-1, and they move all the way outside the top 15, all the way down to number 19. So just sitting outside the top 10 is Palomar, College of the Sequoias, who had the big upset last week, and then Diablo Valley, who looked just terrific in week number 1. They're followed by El Camino, who is number 14, and Cerritos, who is playing Fullerton College tonight. Now, when you take a look at these rankings, this is what is throughout the state. That's what it's officially published throughout the JCAB football poll and the CCCSIA football poll. So the coaches and the SIDs get together. They each have their own poll ranking the different teams. And you kind of see some similarities and some differences. For the most part, 1 through 5, 1 through actually 8 is going to be exactly the same. But the differences turn once you get to 11, 13, and 14, where in one poll for the coaching staff, they have El Camino at number 11. The SIDs have Palomar, College of the Sequoias at 12. Diablo Valley on the other side in the coaches poll getting the number 12 spot. And then you have Palomar and Diablo Valley switching from 12 and 13 if you look across both polls. So when you take a look at those two polls, that's what the state of California thinks. But SportsNetUSA.net is just a little bit different. When you take a look at SportsNetUSA.net, we came up with our own rankings. And when you take a look at those rankings, we have them up on the screen now. The SportsNetUSA.net top 10. It starts off with City College of San Francisco, and I'm joined by the voices of Fullerton College football, but you got Corey Neyland, Mark Pavlovich, myself, Ryan Osborn. We got together, put together what our opinions are on the state of California. And we start off with City College of San Francisco, Riverside City, and San Mateo as the top 3. So a little bit of a difference from what we saw in the state polls. 3 and 4 are different. They swap San Mateo and Ventura. Then you have College of the Canyons and Mount Sac. Now, all 3 of us look at Mount Sac and say they are a lot better than a lot of different places around California are giving them credit for. So they slide in at number 6 with Golden West at number 7. When you take a look at the state polls between the SIDs and the coaches, Golden West was ranked really highly by a lot of them. In fact, they even got a couple of first-place votes last week. Us here at sportsnetusa.net, we differ on that opinion. We put them in at number 7, not really having the dominating victory that other teams had against a true, we'll say, national division opponent. You look at Orange Coast College, they've fallen upon hard times with their football program. So Golden West expected to get a big win. They did get a big win. It's not as impressive in the top 10 as some of these other teams. You follow it up with number 8, Fullerton, and number 9, American River. And Laney, who had a big win over Modesto in week number 1, ends up slotting in at number 10 overall. So 1 through 10, San Francisco, Riverside City College, San Mateo, Ventura, followed by College of the Canyons, Mount Sac, Golden West, Fullerton, American River, and Laney. That's the sportsnetusa.net top 10. And really quickly, Mark, I want to talk to you about Mount Sac. You actually had them pretty high compared to where the coaches poll had them. Coaches poll had them at number 14 in some spots, but you had them much higher than that.
Yeah, because I think when you look at Mount Sac always gets the talent when you're looking at them. So they bring it in, and as their season goes on, they get much better. And that's why you look at Mount Sac and raise them to the place they need to be, which fits in there. And that's the same thing with Golden West. Golden West lost their quarterback, and you go down. So I'll call it the Rashawn phenomena. We're at the top. Now they drop into the ranking as far as I'm concerned, and we'll see where they end up as the season goes on. Fullerton guys, we put Fullerton where we put them, but you know what? Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, you wonder what you're going to see, and we'll see what happens here in the second half because next week they might not even be in the top 20.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see where they landmark, and it's not just about how you win or lose. It's about what your score was against an opponent and where they are in the rankings. We see it all the time where you'll have a team maybe ranked number 8. They end up playing a team that they should beat handily. They end up just beating, and they drop in the rankings. On the other side, you'll see a team that goes up against a big-time opponent that they're not expected to be in the game with. Maybe they lose by 1 score, and all of a sudden you see them maybe go up from like 25 to 23 because of how well they played. It shows that they are a better team than they were given credit for initially. When you take a look at Fullerton in this matchup, they're ranked number 8 in the state polls, whether it be SID or coaches poll. They're both ranked number 8. So when you take a look at how they played so far, well, even regardless of win or loss, this is not the Fullerton College team that a lot of people expected to take the field tonight, at least result-wise, once you get into halftime. So speaking of halftime, since we are here at the half, we want to go across the state of California and take a look at some of the out-of-town scoreboard. Well, San Mateo and Sequoias, we were talking about Sequoias getting the opportunity to have a big-time upset against Butte last week. Well, this week they just weren't able to do the same thing against San Mateo. San Mateo 45-21. They put up 21 in the first quarter and never looked back as San Mateo gets a win over College of the Sequoias. So College of the Sequoias, expect for them to drop a little in the rankings. Golden West and Palomar. Now, Palomar was a team that a lot of people had in their top 10. That was actually a matchup of 2 top 10 opponents, and Golden West with a 22-3 commanding victory over Palomar. So Golden West ends up moving to 2-0. They score 7 in the first, 12 in the third, and that's what led them to their win. So 22-3, Golden West with the win. Long Beach and Riverside. Riverside with a big win over Long Beach City College. That was at home in the Inland Empire. 48-20, and you know what? Riverside City College showed that they were the number 2 team in the country with 24 first quarter points. In fact, by the time that they went to halftime, it was 32-13. Riverside City College beating a Long Beach City College team that some people in the state of California thought would end up in the top 10 after the first 3 weeks. Chabot and Reedley, it is Reedley 35, Chabot 14. That is a final from Northern California. Reedley in the American Conference has been really good over the last 4 years. We took a look at them 4 years ago and said, okay, Reedley had an unexpected season with 7 wins. They followed up with an undefeated season and an American Conference championship, and then 2 straight only 1-loss seasons for that Reedley program. So once again, they continue their winning ways. They go to 2-0 as they win 35-14. Pasadena City College in Santa Monica. Pasadena City moves to 1-1. They lost to Cerritos last week. They pick up a win today, 27-20 in an early game. Glendale and Victor Valley, that is Glendale 28-8 as a final. And Victor Valley only getting 1 score throughout the ball game. That was in the 3rd quarter. A team that Fullerton College, actually 2 teams that Fullerton College is going to play later on this season, Allen Hancock and San Bernardino Valley. Allen Hancock, well, plain and simple, they were dominating today, 41-0 over San Bernardino Valley. And Allen Hancock with a big-time win, 27 points in the 2nd quarter. It gave them the lead, and they never looked back. Ventura and San Diego Mesa, this is going to be an interesting one for the rankings. San Diego Mesa with an upset over Ventura, 35-20. So they didn't just win, they beat Ventura. And Ventura was ranked in the top 4 across all polls. That includes Fullerton College's, that includes SportsNetUSA.net, the coaches poll, and the SID poll as well.
It's one of those teams that may have turned the corner last year in getting their team and their program headed in the right direction. They're a team that came up from the American Division a few years ago.
They are
now they're in the National Division, and they beat Fullerton last year. We were there. They beat a couple other teams last year that they were iffy, and they've got their program trending in the right direction. Huge win for Mesa.
I mean, you take a look at just 3 years ago in 2019, that first year that San Diego Mesa came up to the National Division, they ended up nearly making the playoff in a move that nobody expected. They just expected the Olympians to come up, and then it would kind of be that cannon fodder for those National Division teams in that conference specifically. You had Fullerton, you had Golden West, you had RCC at the time, all of whom played in the same conference. And what did San Diego Mesa do? They upset 3 different teams along the way in conference play. So that's a big win for San Diego Mesa's program, especially early on in the season. I would not be shocked if they end up in the top 14 and in the next poll. They were in the top 20 in the last one. They beat number 4, so that's going to change.
Let me put it this way. That's a top 10 team. If you're going just by rankings of the first 2 weeks, and you know how I feel about rankings there, I don't know, useless in the first couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a top 10 team if you're going to do it. Talk to us after week 4, after week 5, and then we can get a true look at the rankings.
So as we move on from Ventura and San Diego Mesa, we head up to Northern California one final time as Modesto beats Santa Rosa. They go to 1-1 with a 15-7 win. Some games currently in progress. Santa Ana and Moore Park. It's Moore Park 21-17. And if Moore Park is able to hang on there, that is going to be big for their program because they've been on some hard times over the last 5 years or so in terms of getting wins. But they are currently up 21-17 as they go to halftime between Moore Park and Santa Ana. Coming into the 3rd quarter, West Hills Coalingo and Los Medanos. It is 21-20. Los Medanos with the lead. Bakersfield and El Camino College, 17-13. El Camino, the Warriors, with the lead over the Renegades. They are going into the half. Saddleback and Mount Sac, it is 3-0 going into the 3rd quarter. Not really a high-scoring game there, as Mount Sac with a 3-0 lead over top of the Saddleback Bobcats as they enter the 3rd quarter. And finally, we finish up with East LA and Chaffee, 15-7. East LA with the lead over top of Chaffee. And actually, I'll add in one more. Southwestern and Canyons, 26-0. Canyons with the lead over top of Southwestern. Why did we go to that? Because Fullerton College plays College of the Canyons coming up in just 1 week. So that's 26-0 Canyons over Southwestern. So that's going to do it for our halftime as we get set for the second half of play. Again, our current score at the half is 18-10. Cerritos with the lead after a very methodical first quarter between both sides. You switch it over to quarter number 2, and both sides are able to get long plays that turn into scores. And all of a sudden, you go to 18-10 with Cerritos having the lead over top of Fullerton College. So I'll bring back Mark Pavlovich and Corey Neyland, the voices of Fullerton College football. And guys, when you take a look at this second half, both of these two teams have things they need to clean up, but we'll start with what they're doing well.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
As Corey and I both listen to our microphones and say, man, why do we sound so tinny? We sort of sound like Fullerton College on offense. They aren't just coming through and doing anything at all here on SportsNetUSA.net. So we'll see what happens with that. And to me, Cerritos has matured. I mean, John Van Gaston tells me what they looked like last week, and then Ryan Osborn, they have just found receivers. And Corey Neyland, I'm watching an offense grow in front of me with that Cerritos College team.
You are definitely the glass half full kind of guy. I don't think either team has played that particularly well in the first half offensively. There have been a couple big plays on both squads. It's just that Cerritos, 3 penalties in that first half. Fullerton, 10 penalties in the first half. They're down 18-10. I think if Cerritos can build upon what they did in the first half and really get more consistency in that run game, then I agree with you wholeheartedly that they have found something there. Fullerton, on the other hand, they played a Santa Ana team that they put up 56 points, and they looked like they were back. Last year, this is the type of game we saw in that first half of the type of team they were last year. We'll see if they can get it on track. They've had some bright spots. Tyrell Green Jr., over 100 yards rushing for the second consecutive game. Josh Calvin looks good behind center. But again, they just haven't found that rhythm that you two have alluded to throughout that first half of play. In the defense, they lost Chandler Brown. That's a huge loss, but they've got to play better.
And Ryan Osborn, I'm going to bring up the defense because last week the defense could do nothing wrong. Tonight the defense hasn't come up with that big play or big stop that we saw last week against a team that isn't as good as Cerritos Santa Ana College.
You know, it's interesting that you mentioned that, Mark, because over the last 3 years, you will see a direct correlation with how well this defense plays to how well they're able to get that big play going for them, whether it be a turnover, whether it be a couple of sacks in a row. That's what we saw a couple years ago for Fullerton College. If they could get into the backfield and get the quarterback or get to the quarterback, they were able to be fine. They were able to stop opposing offenses. We haven't really found them having that big play so far, that show-stopping play that has turned into momentum for Fullerton.
So we head for the second half. The Hornets are down by 8, and Cerritos is going to get the football. And let me tell you, if you're that defense Ryan Osborn was just talking about, you need to come up with the big stop now because Corey Neyland, you get down by 15 in this game, it could be good night, see you tomorrow here on SportsNetUSA.net. Well, everybody's on the field except the white hat, who's coming in a little late. I think, did you give him my $3 so he could get a slice of pizza? Because, you know, he's running a little slow and sluggish here on SportsNetUSA.net. The Hornets ended the first half with a field goal attempt that was not close. So they trail by 8 as we start off the second half here on SportsNetUSA.net. Fullerton High School District Stadium, Cerritos, the Hornets on SportsNetUSA.net. Fulbear puts foot into it. Taking it by Rodriguez Brown. Up to the 25. So it'll be first down and 10 for a prolific Cerritos offense. I think it was the offense was much better than Corey Neyland gives them in that first half. You can argue with me, but I think Cerritos offense was better in the first half than you give him credit for.
Jordan Simpson was 9 of 15, 208 yards, 2 touchdowns in that first half.
I'll take that. As Simpson comes out at quarterback. First down and 10. Runs it straight up the middle. Running play, turn the corner, and once again, Davon Booth coming up big. Gets a gain of 13 on the play.
Good job on the outside blocking by Angel Hernandez. Took Blake Hill and turned him inside of Davon Booth. And Booth was allowed to get that extra yardage he needed to move the chains.
Up to the 40, first down and 10. Simpson goes over the sideline, got to play. Doss in the slot. Doss has been more than easy. He has been good tonight. Simpson finds Doss. Doss catches it at the 40. Gets a gain. Let's see where they mark him out of 4 on the play. It's going to bring up second down and 6. So he crosses the 40. So nice little gain on that. Doss has had a good night tonight. Tyron Bates to the far side of the field, one of the leading receivers. They run again. Booth takes it again at the 50, cuts back, cross the 45, down to the 42. And so we're going to see a flag on the far side of the field, see what that's going to be.
Now, is it going to be offsides against the Hornets? And this play will stand if it is.
It is offside, so the play does stand, which will make a first down right at the 43-yard line. First down and 10 at the 43. So Davon Booth, who had 81 yards his first game, is now leading the running attack for this Falcon football team. Just started the second half, 13 minutes. Booth stays in at running back. Sanchez comes to the near side of the field. They hand it off to Booth again. Booth shreds a tackle, shreds 2, gets 2 on the play. Running hard for this Falcon offense is Booth.
24 yards in the first half running. Actually, he's got 24 yards in this series alone as he sheds the tackle of Harm and brought down by McNeely. Or excuse me, that was McNeely who brought him down.
Second down and 8, just short of the 40 for the Falcons. Tyron Bates to the near side of the field. Keep your eye on him. He's been good. Who do you look for? Bates, and they overshot him. And Corey, once again, he was open underneath the coverage.
He was open. They're running almost a crossing pattern when they're bringing Doss on a square route. They're taking Bates on a little post above that out, and the play wasn't read in full by the cornerback on this near side, Christian Cross. So he's late on that. A better throw would have been a first down, possibly more.
Third down and 8. The defense needs to find a stop. They haven't been able to do that tonight. Big third down. Here comes the pressure. Knocked down at the line of scrimmage. The receiver was open, but the defense got a hand up.
And that's McNeely again out of San Antonio, Texas. A big stop by the Hornets out of Brody Academy. We'll see if they can capitalize. But again, Cerritos was moving the ball pretty well. Interesting if they keep the offense on the field here.
And they do. Jordan Smith comes up. We'll see if it's a quick kick or if they actually run a play. Nobody in the backfield. Corey Neyland says, quick kick. It is. Little pooch kick down the field. It's going to hit at the 13, rolls all the way down to the 8, and comes right down there. 11 to go here in the third quarter. It's the Falcons 18, the Hornets 10 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Interesting enough, we saw multiple quarterbacks last week against Santa Ana. It has not happened tonight. They've gone basically with one quarterback, and they're starting the second half with that same individual as Josh Calvin comes out at quarterback. Tyrell Green Jr., the running back. Gibson to the far side of the field. Jordan Smith to the near side of the field. First down and 10 at the 8. Calvin keeps it himself, stays on his feet, refuses to go down. It's going to be a nice little run, first down for the Hornets.
Calvin was 6 of 13, 76 yards in the first half. On the ground, carried the ball 7 times for 43 yards. That's his 8th, and now he has 54 yards on the ground.
First down and 10. Tries to get Cerritos to jump, looks over. Once again, Jordan Smith, near side of the field. Gibson on the far side of the field. Tyrell in the backfield. Runs away. Throws it down the field. Picked. No, out of bounds.
So on the route, he was looking for a little square out to Koenig. Play was blown up by the cornerback, Chase Nixon, who did a nice job. Not pass interference, and not holding, not impeding the progress. Good play by the secondary.
So Tyrell Green Jr. stays in the backfield. Let's change everybody out at receiver. Michael Love now comes into the near side of the field. Ryan Franklin now at the far side of the field. Tyrell Green takes it, tries to find an opening. He's got it at the 30. Goes up to the 40. First down. Tyrell Green Jr. is the only bright spot on offense for the Hornets.
He has been most consistent for the Hornets in this ball game. Again, first half, 108 yards, 20 there, 128 yards. Up till now on the right side is doing work on that offensive line.
First down and 10 at the 42. Why not? If it's not broken, don't stop it. Tyrell Green Jr. says, exactly, old guy. Watch me run. So Tyrell Green Jr. stays in the game. Another first down, the offensive line. Quick openers. Bang, he's gone.
Another 21 yards on the ground. And now let's see if Fullerton opens it up just a little bit, try to sneak one down the field, or if they want to run Green Jr. one more time.
First down and 10. They hand it off again. This time not as much. He slugs his way up, but it's a positive run. Gain of 5 at least on the play. So Tyrell Green Jr. is producing the offense. Chug chug goes the train as Malik Winston comes in the game. Second down and 5. A long 5 for the Hornets. Just inside the 30. Calvin looks back. Fakes to Malik Winston. It's got to get rid of it. Does. Gets hit. Incomplete pass.
Pressure forced to throw. Malachi DeBose. Nice job of making Calvin throw the ball before he really wanted to. 6'3", 240 out of Banning High School. Was looking for Love over the middle, and again, he's been moving out of the pocket and running in the first half. That was one where you want to take off one more time.
Gibson to the far side of the field. Jordan Smith to the near side of the field. Malik Winston, the running back. Josh Calvin, the quarterback. Third down. They need this one. They go back. He's got time. He's got time. He's got somebody open there at the 3. Touchdown Hornets. Right there on the money to Koenig, and Koenig catches it and goes in.
Santiago High School, Corona, out of Corona, and he does a nice job again. The seams have been wide open for the Hornets all game long. They choose to exploit it here, and Koenig does a nice job of getting in the end zone after taking a big lick.
So they changed the scoreboard on me. The Hornets, the point is up, and the point is good. So the Hornets now have,
Brings them in within 1 mark.
17 as the scoreboard is wrong here on the field. It's Cerritos 18, the Hornets 17 on Sportsnet, USA.net. So the run, let's go back to the young man that you two talk a lot about. And Ryan and Corey, you said if he wouldn't have gotten hurt last year, it might have been a different season for the Hornets last year.
No, we're not saying that, Mark.
Okay.
We're saying he would have had more opportunity to run. Him and Brandon Rankins would have been a dynamic duo last year. But it just wasn't in the cards for that team. This year, he's got a chance to be one of those breakout stars for the Hornets. He already has almost 150 yards through 2.5 quarters, and he's just getting started. And that's really what might make the Hornet offense go. Cerritos, let's see if they can answer that score.
Well, Ryan Osborn, the defense did what you said they had to do. They made a stop, and that allowed the offense. Little pooch kick, taken up. Once again, trying to get up to the 20. So 9:50 to go. And now it's a 1-point game here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Jordan Simpson will bring out the offense. We'll see if Dawes, Sanchez, and Bates can find an opening. Booth has looked good at the running back.
And Mark Fullerton went athletic on the outside with LeBaron Kennedy and Brandon Sun on the edge.
Press defense by the Hornets. They run it. Defense steps up, and there's Brian Crook's defense starting to show, well, a little chicken and gravy. Here's the gravy that goes over the chicken.
LeBaron Kennedy slows up the play. Brandon Sun finishes up. Gravy train, biscuit wheels, all you got to do, stop and eat.
So a loss of about 10 on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 20 for Cerritos.
Still have no idea where Mr. Ron got that from.
Simpson brings them out. Hornets once again. Simpson goes back. Quick little tries to get it out in the flat. Gets rushed. Incomplete. 3rd down and 20.
And that's one where today's game, guys, with the officials today reluctant, I would pick that up, run into the end zone, see if you can entice them to calling that a lateral. But that brings up a whole question about ethics in sports, and is that really something that...
Big 3rd down now. So, Tyrone comes over here to the near side of the field. Here comes the pressure. Up, picked right there at the 20, down at the 20-yard line. And guys, Corey Neyland, we said, where's the defense? And the defense has shown up.
There it is. Anthony Wilson gets the pick on the tip, so that tip drill plays off for the Hornets, and they have an excellent position to maybe take the lead over the first time that they looked a little bit rushed Cerritos Falcons.
So 1st down and 10 at the 20 as Brian Crooks has his defense pick it up just a little. Josh Calvin comes back out at quarterback. Tyrell Green Jr. at the running back. 1st down and 10 at the 20 for the Hornets. Cerritos brings it. Josh Calvin throws it up. There's nobody there as Jordan Smith had no chance because of the pressure on the quarterback.
And that's a good counter punch by Cerritos. Jonathan Fuamatu, again, comes straight up, lays into Calvin, and Calvin can't even step into the throw. Way to slow that momentum just a little bit for the Falcons, 2nd down and 10.
C.J. Broy to the near side of the field. Once again, Tyrell Green in the backfield. They hand it to Tyrell. Tries to get to the corner, gets knocked out of bounds, maybe a half a yard, most likely very little. Well, they're going to give him a yard. It brings up a big 3rd down and 9 at the 20.
Giovanni De Leon, he's there. No one was on him. Tyrell Green Jr. would have to been a magician to get out of that one.
So Gibson goes to the far side of the field. C.J. Broy in the slot next to him. And then Koenig, who had the touchdown catch. 3rd down and 9 at the 20. Pressure coming. Cross the middle. Misses. Jordan Smith, who looked like he was open.
Jordan Smith was open, but Koenig was open more, Mark. And it was a little skinny post to Smith. But Koenig on the opposite side was doing a square in. Calvin, I thought that's who he was going to, had him open, but again, missed the target. And Fullerton trying to settle for a field goal attempt.
Jonathan Faubert, who missed his last attempt when he came in. Ball spotted at the 25. He had 10, 35-yarder. Ball is up. Does it have enough? Nope. It's no good. And so now he's 0 for 2 in this game.
Well, what happened is the hold was not crisp. It came in, the holder caught it in his belly, couldn't get it down in time, threw off the rhythm of Faubert, and again pushed it wide left for the 2nd time tonight. So the score stays 18-17 with 7:58 to play in the 3rd quarter.
So Tyrone Bates to the near side of the field. Jordan Simpson comes back in. Booth at running back. Noah Sanchez as they put it back at the 20. Noah Sanchez at the far side of the field. In the slot, the near side of the field, Doss, who's looked good this night. Big 1st down and 10 at the 20. Look over here, throw it over, just out of the reach of Doss.
So, Mark, is there a rule change? And I want you to know, because I know you read the rule books. They missed the field goal attempt at the 25.
Yeah.
Shouldn't the ball have been placed where the ball is kicked from at the 25?
Yeah, and I don't know if that rule's been changed on a field goal or not. I've got 2 SIDs next to me, so because of where the ball was missed, shouldn't it go back to the original spot of the field goal? It goes to the 20 now. If it's inside the 20 is what.
Where the ball is snapped from or kicked from?
Snapped from. Line of scrimmage. So.
See, I learn something new every day. That's a beautiful thing.
So.
Tackle made by Tyler Carter, tripped up Booth.
So we got that from John Van Gaston, the SID from Cerritos. Big 3rd down again for Brian Crook's defense. Phil Austin's defensive backs. 3rd down. Noah Sanchez, the far side of the field. Tyron Bates, the near side of the field. They run an option with Sanchez. Pump fakes it, throws it right there. 1st down on a nice little rollout pitch and catch of about 9 yards that moves the chain.
And Simpson does a nice job of freezing the secondary. Ahoya was there, but for some reason he was hesitant to come up and make that play. And that's a 1st down. Good key play by the Falcons because they needed something to keep the Fullerton offense off the field.
7:03 to go. Sanchez comes to the near side. Doss comes with him. Jordan Simpson looks things over. Little slow snap. Simpson, middle of the field, just overshoots Once again, Bates. So it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 10 for Cerritos with 6:42 to go here. A 1-point lead. It's the Falcons 18, the Hornets 17 on SportsNetUSA.net.
LeBaron Kennedy, since he's been in there, is putting the pressure on Simpson. New defensive tackle along with Bryce Dunnick is going to be Terrence Hansbrough Jr. out of Collierville, Tennessee.
So they run it with Doss, trying to get down, try to turn the corner, and taken down, and it should be holding against Cerritos.
And great play by Maximus Ahoya, jumping over 3 defenders, 2 blockers, and his own teammate to make the stop.
So we'll see if that's what the call is. And, of course, now it's the big decision. Do you take, if it is against Cerritos, the penalty?
You take it.
Okay. So they're talking right there. We'll see what it is.
And if they do call a hold here, Mark, the hold happened more initially on the play than when they threw the flag. So in our opinion, you just don't throw the flag, you let that play stand.
And they pick it up, Corey Neyland. So it is no penalty against Cerritos. It'll be 3rd down and 10. They're going to mark it right at the 33-yard line. Bates comes back in the game. Big 3rd down with 6:30 to go. They look over at the defense, trying to get a signal. Get it out to them. Look, a little confusion for the Hornets. Tight formation. Sanchez, once again, this is where they'll run an option play. They do. Throw it out, trying to find somebody to throw it to, and they do, right on the money, and they find Noah Sanchez for a 1st down. And versatility for the receivers this week has been the big thing for this Cerritos team, moving the ball to a variety of different catchers on the field.
Yeah, and the ability to have a mobile quarterback to wait for his receiver to get open, to make the linebacker cover for an extended period of time, allowed that play to happen.
So we move it across, just across midfield. Bates to the far side of the field. Sanchez on the near side of the field. Doss in the slot next to him. 1st and 10. They run it again. This time it's going to be another 1st down. Variety is the spice of life. Pass here, pass there, drop a run play in. Mixture has been the key for Cerritos.
Now I'll go again. That's his best run of the game. So Puka, close to a 1st down, picks up 9. So as we sit here, the momentum, guys, has changed since that missed field goal. Fullerton had all the momentum with the touchdown, with the pick. Then a missed field goal occurs. Cerritos comes back, and now they're just moving down the field at their own leisurely pace.
So they're going to mark the ball at the 40, 2nd and about a 1/2 an inch to get a 1st. They're looking to go deep. Going down deep, it's going to be an incomplete pass, and they throw a flag, and they're going to call defensive holding against the defensive back. You can't call that pass interference because there was no opportunity to catch it.
Well, if they do call pass interference, they'll have to pick it up. See, here's the thing. If they call pass interference, that's a penalty they should pick up because it's uncatchable. A hold is a different story, and that play would have stand. Either way, that play, Cassius Kearns gets called for the penalty.
So it's going to move it down. So they're going to put it down at the 25. So they called pass interference. Now they're going to pick it up again and move it again. It'll be 1st down and 10 at the 25 for Cerritos. They run it straight up the middle.
So McNeely, he's in there on the stop. He's joined by Tyler Carter. Again, read that play well, minimal gain. But the thing that's been hurting the Hornets is the mobility of Jordan Simpson, getting out of the pocket and letting his receivers get open and finding that time and making the defensive backs work.
2nd down and 9, right at the 24. Hornets almost jump. Throw down the middle of the field, looking for their caught touchdown, Cerritos.
And just an excellent throw, a better catch by Sanchez. Maximus Hoya was there, a little bit turned around, still decent coverage, but that's just as perfect as you can get.
So you realize Sanchez was quiet last week. He's got a touchdown. Doss was quiet last week. He's producing tonight. Bates has always been good. Then you look at Davon Booth at running back. Can't complain about what he's doing. And Jordan Simpson has found the right person at the right time at quarterback for this Falcon football team. Ball is spotted. The kick is up. And the kick is good. With 4:15 to go, it's the Falcons 25, the Hornets 17 on Sportsnet, USA.net.
And you're going to have to credit that offensive line because the Hornets came with the pressure. They brought people off the edges, but the offensive line picked it up. Simpson didn't have a chance to move out of the pocket, so he stood in strong and made a touch throw right to the pylon for 6.
Well, you know, I'm going to give credit, too, with all the receivers because everybody who's had an opportunity has come up with the football for this team. And then you look at Booth at running back. He's done what he's had to do when he's had the opportunity, which has created balance for this Falcon football team against a good-looking Hornet defense last week and off and on tonight here at Fullerton District Stadium on Sportsnet, USA.net. Stewart also with Woods. No, not Woods. Love back deep. Love's going to take it at the 2. Looking up the middle. Love cuts the outside. It's a foot race. He's got blockers in front of him. Stays on his feet. Goes down the sideline. Refuses to go out and gets knocked out of bounds at the 16-yard line. So he grabbed it on the 3 and took it all the way to the 16 to get a little spark for the Hornets.
70-plus mark. That's what they needed. And, again, the way Cerritos came down and played, it looks like they were trying to take the momentum, trying to kick them when they're down type of moment. But Fullerton comes back with Michael Love showing the speed, good blocking out front. And now the Hornets cannot settle for another field goal attempt. They need touchdowns henceforth.
Brandon Nunez now in the game at quarterback. So we have a new quarterback in for the Hornets. Winston at running back. They hand it off to Malik Winston. Goes up the middle, gets taken down at the 15, maybe the 14. They're going to mark him at the 15.
They're going to credit the tackle to Mac Manu, but again, Isaac Taulili, he really stood up to play in the middle. Winston had nowhere to go. Nunez can move. He's a little bit mobile as well. Hasn't shown the accuracy in the first couple games thus far. Let's see if he gets to throw the ball.
2nd down and a long 9 for him. Here comes the pressure. He's got time. Throws up. Jordan Smith.
That's it.
Touchdown. So Jordan Smith finally makes himself known on the field with 3:23 to go here in the third quarter.
And a precise throw by Nunez because he wasn't accurate in that first game against Santa Ana. He was 2 for 7. Today he comes in a crucial series, makes that throw. Another great throw by a quarterback, and they're now within 2.
Hornets choosing not to go for 2, going for 1. Ball will be spotted at the 10. Ball is spotted. Kick is up. And the kick is good. With 3:23 to go, it's Cerritos 25, Fullerton 24 on SportsNetUSA.net.
And you don't go for two in that situation for two things. One, you don't need it. You don't need to go for two because the way your offense is clicking in this third quarter. Two, you hope it gives your kicker a little bit of rhythm, a little bit of confidence to see something go through, to see the ball go through the uprights if you need a game-winning attempt in the fourth quarter. It's coming up in about 3 minutes.
So an exciting community college football game here on SportsNetUSA.net. The Falcons up by 1 with 3:23 to go here in the third quarter. Davis back deep.
And he's back there for the first time with Rodriguez bound. So Zadekia and Travis.
So Zadekia and Travis. Wait a minute, that sounds like a Western, doesn't it? Travis and Zadekia. That's a stagecoach Western. You know, it sounds like one. Zadekia takes it up the middle, looking to cut the outside, finds an opening. Turns on the speed, doesn't get taken down, tries to stop. He's going to get out to the 45. Great return, great answer by Cerritos.
Yeah, great answer, but again, somebody was manhandled on that play. Kadari Kearns, right about the 35-yard line. They're a fistful of jersey the Falcon had, but again, that's what you need. So they got the other hold mark at the 26.
So another hanky on the field here on SportsNetUSA.net. So they march them backwards.
Conversation about we'll tell you later.
So they run it. Booth's got it. Spins away. Gets up to the 24. If he does, that should be enough for a first down. We'll see where they mark him at.
And Booth has a lot of elusivity to him. You like that one?
I do.
There you go.
That's why I buy my pants a little big, because they don't have that in them anymore. I used to love that band that would stretch for me. Bless you, John. Second down and 1 for Cerritos. They run it this way with Booth. Booth looking for an opening. Gets up to the 30, gets knocked out of bounds. It'll be a first down for the Falcons.
And again, two good runs. Student body right, student body left. And again, two plays, first down. You move the clock, you move the chains.
And in running the ball the way they have, Jordan Simpson will fake it, find one of his favorite receivers, which they all are tonight, open down the field. First down and 10 at the 29. They hand it off again. Why stop him? Booth this time gets only 4 on the play. And the clock ticks. He gets up to the 35. Mark him short. Make it the 34.
And with that zone read, there's not many negative runs that they've had today.
No, and you like the way Simpson runs things, too. He'll look. He'll pull it out and throw the football. Sanchez, near side of the field. Doss in the slot next to him. Bates, far side of the field. There they go, running around the other way. And once again, another first down. So you look like you're going to walk with it, and the next thing you do, you run the football, and when you do, get another first down with Davis.
Yes, and Mark, again, that's all the tight end, Jacob Leha. On the outside, Brandon Sun tries to take, or is that Amari Williams? It doesn't matter. They try to take that inside route, and Leja just does a nice job, seals him, and that allowed Davis to pick up that first down.
Sanchez near me. Doss in the slot. Bates far away. Jordan Simpson says, I'm throwing it up for grabs. And the receiver had no idea, and it was just thrown up for grabs, trying to get rid of it. And it was one of those that you hope you throw it far enough so it doesn't get picked with 48 seconds to go here in the third quarter. It's the Falcons 25, the Hornets 24 here on SportsNetUSA.net.
And that's Ollie Louis Charles, again, forcing that throw. Comes up from the outside quickly. And Simpson now on a second down. Let's see if Hornets bring the pressure one more time.
Walks up like he's going to change the play. Hornets come up, then they back off. They run it one more time. This time, drug down in the backfield. Loss of play. It's going to bring up a third down and 10 at the 39.
And what happened was they brought it from the outside, so the focus was on the outside, and that allowed Hansbrough Jr. to infiltrate the backfield and make that tackle.
The Falcons do not have to run a play because the clock is about a second in front or a half a second. So if I'm the Falcons, I let these last seconds click off. And as we head to the fourth quarter, well, I tell you what, don't go away because the Falcons 25, the Hornets 24 here on SportsNetUSA.net. Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland, the old guy. The SIDs giving us everything they can. Phil and John down there. Greg on the PA. I tell you what, there's tension in the booth, to say the least. And if you're on the sidelines, well, you're not sure what's going on here on SportsNetUSA.net. Next week, College of the Canyons here on SportsNetUSA.net. We'll take a road trip.
We shall see.
Gabby, Corey, Ryan, and myself. Ryan Osborn says, I'm going. Corey Neyland, you can stay
Ryan's
at home.
going no matter what.
You know, I'm going. Big third down. Defense comes in. Screen pass. Beautiful call up the middle. First down and more for Cerritos. The right play at the right time, and they move the chains.
Travis Davis, Mark, again. Fullerton came all out, and before they realized it, they said, oh, okay.
So it's down to the 34 on a well-planned and well-devised play by the Falcons. First down and 10, the 34. Bates goes to the far side. Doss goes with a big first down. Run. Oh, little motion. Should be a flag against Cerritos. Little flinch on that far side.
But how beautiful was that screenplay?
Oh, it was gorgeous, wasn't it? The offensive line held him up just enough so they couldn't get to the quarterback and then let him go to say, you really do want to come to my house for dinner? Mom's not that good of a cook. We're all going out. And as they all climbed in the car to go get takeout, well, the Hornet defense just ate at the wrong place at the wrong time. Illegal procedure moves it back to about the 40. First and 15. They run it with Booth. Gets knocked down at a gain of maybe 4. We'll see if that's what they're going to give him. So Davon Booth gets a little of it back, not all of it.
And what you like about the sweep play that they run, it's almost designed as everybody's running to the corner as they get the defense to over pursue. Booth will plant that one step.
Wait a minute. The guy who's spotting it is back at the 36. Then the line judge comes up and puts it at the 33. I hope these guys are not surveyors. because I don't want to get on any freeways they build. Here it comes with a screen. Try to get there. They do. So they throw a little swing pass screen. The Hornets reply.
So the Falcons back into a 3rd and 9 as they were, right on that screenplay call. And let's see what they do here.
And this is where you go to the money player. And if I'm them, I look for Booth. I put Davon Booth in a slot, let him take on a linebacker one-on-one, and look for that 9-yard play. 3rd down, 10 at the 35. Hornets come up. Here comes the pressure. They're coming. They're selling out. Across the middle of the field, off the hands. And Noah Sanchez had it. It was on the money. Oh, no, it wasn't Sanchez. It was Bates. I thought it was Sanchez. It was Bates. So it was Bates that had it bounce off his fingers. And then Bates limps off the field. 4th down. Jordan Simpson by himself. Here they come. Jordan Simpson, middle of the field. So it looked like it might have been a catch, and the officials, everybody was waiting to see what they called, guys. Ryan Osborn goes, yeah, Corey Neyland says, wait a minute. We were playing basketball on the grass.
It was a great play call. Everybody thought a pooch kick was coming again, but he rushed it just a little bit, and it would have been a heck of a catch. But, yeah, it did hit that ground.
12:18 to go. Cerritos, 25. Fullerton, 24 here on SportsNetUSA.net. Ryan Franklin out to the far side of the field. They run it straight up the middle, trying to get something going for the running back that's been there all day long. Tyrell Green Jr. finds absolutely nothing as once again they bring in Josh Calvin at quarterback.
Ronald Tebu. He makes the stop, and again, they realize Tyrell Green Jr. has 150 yards on the ground. They wrap him up.
Malik Winston's going to come out because Tyrell Green Jr. is hurt. So they're going to bring him out. There they go. Let him get off the field. 2nd down and 10. Calvin looks down the middle of the field. Finds Gibson. Gibson makes the catch at the 45. He's down. Gibson, a little gimpy out there. So going to be a 1st down.
And
right at the 45.
Strong arm by Calvin. Knew where he wanted to go before the player broke out of his cut.
Calvin looks over. 1st down. Pump fakes. Holds on to it. Throws it to Gibson. Gibson spins. Gets hit. Loses 2 on the play.
So on that route, you had C.J. Broy doing a little square in on that fake. So if he's open the next time they run that play, it might be going over the middle. Good play by the safety to keep him in front of him. However, that was Milo Lopez.
Jordan Smith, far side of the field. Koenig in the slot next to him. They send C.J. far to the outside. Keep Gibson by himself to the near side of the field. 2nd down and 11. Here comes the pressure. He's got to throw it. He doesn't. And, oh, he gets his clock clean.
And that's one where you're looking for one receiver, Will Gibson only. And a slow developing play gets them sacked. Cerritos hasn't blitzed a lot tonight, but when they have, their blitzes have been effective, either forcing an incompletion or that time there getting the sack.
Big loss. 3rd down and 20 at the 45.
If you can pick up 12 yards here, think about going for it on 4th down.
Malik Winston in at running back for the Hornets now. They hand it off to Malik. Malik cannot get anything going, 4th down.
So 4th down and 20 with 9:15 to play in the ball game, down by 1. The Hornets defense must step up as Cerritos says playing well.
Davis, sorry Corey, Davis back deep for the Falcons. Big kick. Davis signals for a fair catch. He catches, hauls it in. They're going to mark him down at the 18. So every time the Hornets have an opportunity, it just doesn't happen. And the Falcons seem to find a way to shut the door on them. With 8:48 to go, well, it's Cerritos 25, the Hornets 24, here on Sportsnet, USA.net. This could be the series of the game when you think about it. Davis, running back. They throw straight across the middle. Throws it there. Tries to find an individual and does. Find Noah Sanchez, who has stepped his game up tonight. 1st down for the Falcons.
And you love the play calling versatility for the Falcons. Grossfeld and his squad. That's not a play that you've rarely seen today. Under center, you're thinking you're going to get a run-off tackle. He breaks it back, throws a little square into Sanchez, picks up a 1st down and more.
And he walks up again. Davis in the backfield. 1st down and 10. Hands it off, straight off tackle, goes the outside, takes the corner, stays on his feet, gets knocked out of bounds after another 10.
And if you can hear the coaches to your left, Mark, again, they said something that's been happening all night. The ends have to take that outside route or go straight up the field instead of breaking down and biting down inside the offensive line's blocks. That's how the running backs are getting that edge and picking up positive yardage.
1st down, right at the 43. So Cerritos answering. 7:44 to go. They're methodically going down the field. Defense needs to do something. They run it one more time. Foot goes down. So they're going to find a loss on the play. Moore just couldn't plant the foot than defense doing anything. Loss of 4 on the play, right at the 39-yard line.
And that's what happens when the end comes straight up the field and doesn't let the offensive player get to the outside, makes them cut back in. He slips. Torres gets credit for the tackle for loss.
2nd down and 14 at the 39. Jordan Simpson looking things over. The defense comes up. Here comes the press. They look down the middle of the field. All by himself, right on it. You get it to Bates, and what's Bates do? He secures the football, makes the catch, goes cross field, 1st down.
No, they're going to call
Short?
that short, Mark. It looked like he got the 40. It looked like he got the 47-yard line to me.
Well, they've got him at the 48, so that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
But more impressive was Jordan Simpson, again, throwing before his receiver, makes his break on the corner.
3rd down and 1 at midfield. 6 minutes to go. Hornets come up. Straight dive play. Just wait for them to make a move. They make a move. They naturally open the hole, and Cerritos gets a 1st down.
That Falcon front is doing a nice job all game long of creating the tempo, creating what they want to do on the field against the defensive front. And it's showing now. Both teams have 3 timeouts left with under 6 minutes to play.
And somebody said to me early in the game, you don't go for the 2 points yet. Well,
you don't. You didn't. That was the right call.
First down and 10 at the 41. The defense has to find something to help the offense. Low snap, another run play. Not back to line of scrimmage. Maybe a loss of a half a yard is going to bring up a second down and 10. We're at the 5-minute mark. In this fourth quarter, it's Cerritos by 1. Holding on. The defense needs to get off the field. The offense needs to do something when they get back on, and Cerritos right now is controlling the pace of this football game. Big second down and 10. Looking to the pass. Here he goes. Middle of the field. Don't tackle somebody. You got to hold them up. Gain of 7 on the play. Cross the 35. So they're going to mark it at the just short of the 34. We have timeout on the field because a Hornet is down. With 4:39 to go. Third down. And a long 3 here on SportsNetUSA.net.
So, Mark, you're saying down 25-23, you would have gone for 2. At
Yes,
that
I would have.
time. Okay.
Yes, I would have.
Now, see, I like the call. You just kicked the field. You kicked the extra point because your offense was proving that they're getting in some type of rhythm, and you expect and have enough confidence in your team that you go down and you're going to win the game on offense. Defense, however, Cerritos is just playing better offense.
Oh, they are. I think Cerritos is playing an exemplary game tonight. I didn't see him play last week, but, I mean, the way they're playing tonight, they are playing offense across the board. Everybody's involved offensively.
And that's Kadari Kearns limps off the field. But if the defense can stand here on these next 2 plays, because if Cerritos doesn't get the first down
I'm with
here,
you. They're going for it. They're going for it.
Way,
Yeah, exactly. 4:39 in this game. It's a 1-pointer. Wind the clock. Simpson goes back, finds his receiver, but they gain nothing. 4th and 3. 3:24. Maybe, well, it's interesting. They moved the yard. So it's going to be 4th and 4.
You have to go for it here if you're the Falcons.
Yeah, Jordan Simpson stays in the game. Michael Bruner comes over to this side of the field now. Bates to the far side of the field. They're going to look over at it. 3:52. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and we get a timeout on the field. So with timeout on the field, 3:46 to go. It's Cerritos 25, the Hornets 24 on SportsNetUSA.net. Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland, the old guy getting older, sitting up here in the booth on SportsNetUSA.net. This has been, guys, even though we haven't seen the sharpest play at time, it's been a fun football game because you keep waiting for something to happen. And we have seen big plays in this game, too, for both football teams.
Yeah, big plays have been made. Cerritos has just made more quality plays, if you will. It's been more quality over quantity for the Falcons today, and that's why they have this 1-point lead. Fullerton has had some big plays, but they had bigger miscues that have occurred.
So it'll be 4th down. A long 4. Jordan Simpson comes up. Empty backfield for Cerritos. The Hornets creep up. They run a sweep. 1-on-1. You've got to make the tackle. They do. The Hornets needed a tackle, and they make it on a jet sweep. Corey Neyland, they ran that jet sweep with Davon Booth, And that second tackle saved the game.
Jeremiah McNeely makes the tackle after Booth slips the first tackle. And you realize Fullerton had 2 players in the backfield on defense. I think everybody's heart jumped on the Hornet side and on the Cerritos side for different reasons after that first tackle was broken. And then everybody's heart stopped when the second tackle was made.
Josh Calvin comes out.
McNeely.
Tyrell Green Jr. in the backfield. 1st and 10 at the 37. Here they come. Josh Calvin looks, throws it across the 50. 1st down, move the chains. And Gibson, once again, is the receiver of the play.
And Calvin and Gibson have a relationship, Mark. That's the go-to guy for him. You've seen it throughout this game.
So it was caught across the 50. Guys, I'm sitting here, and they moved it back to the 50.
They like even numbers.
Even the coaches don't understand why it got moved back. Calvin comes back. Here comes pressure. Nobody's there. He's got to run it for the sideline, run it for the sticks. 1st down at the 40, and they move the chains. 2:59 to go. Josh Calvin looking to will his team to a victory. Here comes the pressure. Going up, looking down, can't make the reception. As he was looking for Gibson, couldn't throw to him. And Corey, when you look on the other side of the field, and I know the pressure was there, he had to get rid of the ball quickly. Second down and 10 at the 40. C.J. Broy out here. Jordan Smith in the slot next to him. Gibson to the far side of the field. Josh Calvin looks things over. Big 2nd down and 10. Has time. Pulls it up. Throws it. Dropped right there by Smith, who had the football. It would have been a gain of about 5.
Looking to run before he makes that catch in full.
3rd down. 2:37. Gibson goes to the far side of the field. Broy comes to the near side of the field. Smith in the slot. Tyrell Green Jr., the running back. Across the middle of the field. Misses Smith again. 4th down.
And why that miss was crucial. They might not have made that 1st down, but a 4th and 4, much easier to convert than a 4th and 10. So with 2:31 to play, this is the play of the ball game.
So do you sell out of your Cerritos? Do you bring everybody? Do you?
Yeah. And you make them on these last 3 throws, you realize he hasn't been perfect.
Here they come. He needs protection. He throws. And it's knocked away. Cerritos takes over with 2:27 to go.
Great one-on-one matchup. This time won by Cerritos. And Jamel Blendman, not only does he return kicks, he makes a very, very good play, quality play against Calvin and Gibson on the outside. And again, you knew it was going to Gibson, but it was just missed. In a game of inches, Fullerton down by 1. 3 timeouts remaining with 2:27 to play.
So they need to make a stop on this first play. Jordan Simpson brings them up, has guided his team well. Run play, gives it to Booth. Booth turns the corner. Goodbye. Good night. Touchdown, Cerritos.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, barring a huge miracle, is the ball game.
So a 60-yard run by Booth.
Actually, I'm going to take that back, Mark. With 2:15 to play, there's plenty of time to come back if you're the Hornets.
This is the play of the game, if they can get 2. Now they go for the extra point. I thought they'd go for 2. They decided not to.
Nah, they didn't need to go for 2. I'd fake it, but they didn't need to go for 2.
Corey Neyland. I'd go for 2. Ball is up. Kick is good. So with 2:15, it's Cerritos 32, the Hornets 24, here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
See, I got my math mixed up because I thought they were going to be up by 9 with the extra point.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me you could be an official in this game?
Yes, I could.
You don't know how to count numbers?
I can count numbers. Just where you want me to put them is a problem.
Okay.
But I thought they were going to be up 9, so that would have ended the ball game. But up by 8, Fullerton still has a chance with 3 timeouts remaining and 2:15 to play to get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
So Corey Neyland with the glass half full here on sportsnetusa.net. Ryan Osborn endorsing that thought.
Stewart and Love. Stewart last time with a kick return, 73 yards on the return.
So they move around just because, try to get the kicker to kick it to who they think might be the better return artist. Little pooch kick in the middle of the field, caught there at the 20, looks for an opening, stays here, finally gets on the field, gets across the 35 to maybe the 36. So there's 2 minutes to go. Hornets down by 8. 3 timeouts total. They need to score a touchdown, and they've got to make the 2-point conversion to tie this game. Josh Calvin needs to find the big play. And the defense for Cerritos will pin their ears back and come and get him. Here they come. Calvin, across the middle of the field, finds Gibson. First down, stop the clock, move the chains. 2 minutes to go. Calvin still back there. Gibson to the near side of the field. Goes back, fakes it. Goes to go deep, looks for Gibson. Gibson tries to cut inside and has it knocked away. Good defense by Cerritos.
And a good cut on the ball by Gibson. Saw that it was a little bit underthrown. He tries to make the adjustment, does not. Jaden Dunlap on coverage. Comes up a little bit limpy. And we'll see if someone else sees the ball here on this drive, or else they're going to try to ride Calvin to Gibson.
Koenig in the slot. Gibson next to him. Smith across the way. 2nd down and 10. Here they come. Josh Calvin flips it away. And, boy, I tell you what, on that one, I might have gone and picked it up and taken off running.
Give him something to think about.
Give him something to think about. Said, hey, he lost the ball going down. That was not a pass. 3rd down and 10 with 1:37 to go.
And it looks like they've got 3 deep here.
Incomplete pass. Incomplete pass. Incomplete pass. Yes. Yeah. Josh Calvin has time. He has all day. Throws it.
And bounce to Smith. So that's another incomplete pass, and it's 4th down. And again, Josh Calvin doesn't have the confidence. It looks like he's losing that confidence as he had a receiver open between 2 and didn't make the throw. Tries to force it into Smith on a bounce. Had the opportunity to run, so 4th down and 10 with 1:29 to play.
Big fourth down. Here comes the pressure. Pump fakes it, throws a pick, and that's it.
And that is the ball game, gentlemen. Huge play by the Falcons. Again, an indecision where to throw the ball to, and holds on just a little bit too long and makes that interception. Cerritos is going to come out of here with the victory. And they're going to move to 2-0. And you talk about those rankings. Well, those rankings next week, if you're going to follow them, well, they're going to jump into the top 10.
Yeah, and you really have to like the fact that the offense really moved the ball all around today for Cerritos. It wasn't a one-man show for Cerritos. It was a team win offensively. Corey Neyland, they just dialed up the pressure at the right time all tonight.
Yeah, they did. And that dial up, Mark, created indecision by the Fullerton offensive unit as a whole, Mark, from top to bottom, about how to execute.
Davon Booth gets it, gets hit, going to let the clock just run.
And they've got all three of their timeouts here. So conceivably, you can stop the clock. No, we've been doing this for too long for you to give me that look. Ryan, Mark can never give me that look when I say a glass is half full moment. Ever.
So timeout on the field with 1:15 to go, and Corey Neyland has taken out a front two, stuck it under a pillow, and hoping the tooth fairy comes to help out. Fullerton College with 1:15 to go.
As Mark Pavlovich has stepped away for the remainder of the 1:15, as Fullerton on defense, 2nd down and 13 for Cerritos. Cerritos, they can really salt the game away here if they pick up this, just run out the clock. And you want to stay in bounds here, and they do, and forcing Fullerton to call another timeout.
So Booth gets across the 40, down to the 38, timeout Fullerton.
And this is just a well-played game. Jordan Simpson passing for over 300 yards. Davon Booth rushing for over 100 yards. And the defense playing lights out when they needed to be. It hasn't been a perfect game defensively, but they played perfectly when they needed to be. And that's why they're going to come out here, barring anything that happens by a Mark Pavlovich miracle, moving up to 2-0. And Fullerton will drop to 1-1.
And this is the thing, Ryan Osborn, they talked about it at practice when we asked the coaches, so what are we going to see? And they said, well, we'll see what happens if the team gets punched in the face, how they'll respond was what the coaches told us tonight. They got punched in the face. They tried to respond, but they just looked like they might have come up just a little short here on sportsnetusa.net. 3rd down. Run a reverse. Taken right there by Bates. Holds on to it. 1st down, and that's the game.
And, the execution and the quality of the play calling for Cerritos, they have done nothing of what you expect in situations on offense. And they played those calls, and that's why they got that 1st down here. You're not expecting a reverse if you're a player. The coaches were calling for a reverse right off the snap.
Corey, I mean, the screenplay, when you think about it, called it the opportune time, the right time, and now when you look at it, well, Cerritos walks away with a team win. If you're a Cerritos Falcon fan, you have to say, what a great team win tonight. They showed a lot of talent in a lot of new places, a lot of players stepped up, and if you're the head coach, the staff, everybody with Cerritos, you have to say, this is the type of win we needed against a good Fullerton College team, and thank you for watching this game here on sportsnetusa.net. So we're down to 36 seconds
Next week, Fullerton is at College of the Canyons. Ryan Osborn will be there. We'll see if we're there as well, either on radio, most likely, audio only, but we'll see if we get some video out there.
So take a little victory knee, and they do that with 33 to go. So Cerritos is going to walk away with a victory here tonight at Fullerton District Stadium. It's going to be the Falcons 32, the Hornets 24. You've been watching Fullerton College football here on Sportsnet USA.net.